when we podcast, well, you know we're gonna be the men recording them for you. Watch a shit film, yeah, you know we're gonna be the guys who watch it and then have a rant or two. Probably get drunk, well, you know we're gonna be the guys who are off our tits on big bottles of booze. And if you feedback, well, you know we're gonna be the boys who read it back to you. We've done 300 episodes and we'll probably do 300 more. Or we'll shoot each other in the face and they'll find 4 corpses on the floor. When we're talking, yeah, you know you're gonna feel that maybe your life ain't so bad. When you're listening, well, you know you're gonna think that we're just really old and sad. When you download, well, I know you're gonna wonder where your hard drive space is gone. Look at the cast notes, well, you know you're gonna see this shit is 30 hours long. We've done 300 episodes and we'll probably do 300 more. Or we'll shoot each other in the face and they'll find 4 corpses on the floor. Got a shotgun, got a shotgun, got a shotgun, got a shotgun. Dum da da dum da da dum da da dum da. What is this shit? Dum da da dum dum? I've been doing this for 300 episodes, boys. Jesus Christ, I'm headlining at the Dartford Chuckle Hut. You can keep your £5 and you go on Glenda. I'm a fucking professional, man. I quit.
Hello and welcome to the Black Dog number 300.
Oh, so it's not 400.
Huzzah! Huzzah! It's not 400 yet. No, we've got a while to go yet.
Huzzah! It's 300. We made it. We got here.
So glad we made it. Actually, I was going to say, technically speaking, it's 325 if you count all the specials and feedback episodes.
Shh, don't say that.
Fuck! It's all gone wrong.
My moaning about not being 300 could have ended 25 episodes ago, but, you know.
Yeah, well, it could have done.
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Shh,
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Don't say anything. Anyway, hello and welcome to the episode 300. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
Elton.
And this is Sparta!
Yay! So here we are, episode 300. So, yes, we're going to have a bit of chat. And then get on to our last of our Sadvent calendar films. Yep. And we might have a few special things stuck in between because Darren doesn't actually have to. Has no excuse for fucking off in the middle of the feedback now.
Yeah, I'm here.
He's stuck here. He's stuck in my house.
The door's locked. He's got me tied to a seat.
You will fucking stay here until the end of play, even if I have to kill you. Even if I take the last of your life force to do it, I will make it to the end of this fucking episode with you in it.
You've got all the windows nailed shut.
You fucking bet you. So
Chimney,
yep,
boarded up.
Yep, definitely. No fat bastards getting down that.
I'm not getting out.
No one's getting away. No one's getting out of here alive. It's like Waco. Any minute now, FBI people are coming through the window. Merry
Someone's
Christmas.
left the stove on.
No. So, yes, 300 episodes, and, you know, here we are. We've been getting lots and lots of 300 congratulations messages on the Facebook group, and thank you to everyone who's been doing that. The group is facebook.com/group/The Black Dog Podcast, so thank you to everyone who's left a lovely message. There's been a couple I haven't had a chance to respond to yet, but I will do as soon as I have finished recording. And, yeah, it's been great. Who knew that 9th of the 9th, 2009, when we kicked this shit off, we'd be doing it 300 episodes later. I know. I think we were looking at episode 1 and going, who thought we'd make it this far?
Exactly. 3 episodes in. Woo, we're still going.
We haven't died yet.
We've got 2 people on the Facebook group.
Woo!
Me and you. Yay!
So, before we get on to our usual, we'll get on to the cast and talk about Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. The only other thing that rhymes with in that sentence is a cunt. But anyway,
occurs in that,
yeah, Kirk Cameron's cunty Christmas. Anyway, so before we get on to that, let's find out how everyone's week's been, and let's start with you, Jim.
Well, I've been very, very busy indeed in the run up to Christmas. So not helped by getting a hideous bout of a cold and a throat infection last week, which I did slow things down at a time when I didn't need them slowed down at all. But it's all come good in the end. I'm just about ready for Christmas. I've nearly finished all my work. And other than that, I had a nice weekend away in the lovely historic city of York, where I consumed the second Christmas dinner of the season, which was jolly fine. And last night, went to the local panto.
Oh, God. Oh, panto.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, God. Panto. Okay, yeah, go on.
Now, so that usually we've got a nice big old Victorian theatre in town, which is currently closed. It's being refurbished. However, an old cinema, which used to be a theatre, has been recently just opened up again this year and been completely restored to its 1920s splendour. I mean, I knew it as the Odeon, these like big metal frontage on with Odeon on. If you take that off, it's actually a lovely like stained glass windows and Art Deco building behind it, which the new owners have done, and they've reopened it up and. The top floor is sort of where the balcony was. It is now a theatre, and downstairs is a soft play area, and there's a restaurant in there as well. It's
nice,
a very nice job.
Oh, nice.
However, that's just opened. The panto they put on, starring absolutely no stars whatsoever. Shall we say, what's this? A touch on the rough side.
Okay. Go on.
Somewhat chaotic and definitely not to the usual panto standards I'm used to. But, you know, it's kind of, you can't have a bit of anarchy at Christmas, when can you? And it was rather funny, which was helped by I found I went to get a drink at half time and expected, you know, the usual absolute fleecing you get. Yeah. And for a large red wine was given to me in a tumbler, which they normally served half pints of beer in. So for $4.50, I had like the best part of half a pint of Shiraz.
Nice.
Which I thought, that's brilliant. That's brilliant value. I'll come here again.
That's all the parents need to get through a panto, to be honest.
Nice. Absolutely. So it all came good in the end, in true panto fashion.
Oh, no, it didn't.
And,
oh, yes, it did. Sorry. Carry on.
Flashbacks now. But yes, as we're already running late, I'll leave my tales of my exploits there.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, by the way, we are running late because, as you may have heard by now, that we actually did an intro for the first time in ages. Woo, go intro. But being completely inexperienced in intros for the last sort of 8 months, so out of practice, we basically overran by about an hour. So we're already an hour down and we've got a lot of stuff to get through. So if we're all snoring by the end of this, it's going to... Now you'll know. So, race you to that one. Right, so on to Elton. Elton, how's your week been, sir?
It's been all right. I've had a utter shit time at work.
Yeah.
But I cheered myself up with the Star Wars Rogue One sticker album because I'm 38 and I can spend my money on what the fuck I want.
Is it Panini?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it by Panini?
No, it's not. It's by Tops.
Oh yeah, Tops.
What? I believe Panini have got it in a bread now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've moved into bread products. Go on, Elton, sorry.
And I think there was a Sunday as well. I bought a couple of packets of stickers for it, and then I thought, fuck it, and I just grabbed a wad of them and ended up I spent about £12 on stickers. So I'm slowly working my way through them at the moment.
£12.
And I've already got to the point where I'm getting more and more swaps as I go through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do you know what? Fuck it, I don't care. Fucking loving it.
So
really enjoyed it.
if I knew where to get them, I might indulge myself. Then that way we could have a shonky level where we're swapping them. Whole episode just going through it.
Definitely.
I've got number 52. Have you got number 52? Yeah.
I need that one. Need that one.
Need that one.
I'll swap it for 74.
Oh, 74. Yeah, I'll have that.
I've got Shiny here as well.
Oh, Shiny. That's
an
what
R2D2, a C3PO, and a Ryan Giggs. Oh, wrong sticker album.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got a Roy of the Rovers. I've got a Dan Dare. And I've got a C3PO.
Not sure what Nicholas
Roxette
Parsons
Tour.
is doing in there.
Roxette Tour 1998.
Yeah. How do you do tour Wembley? What the fuck? Anyway, yeah. So you're now indulging in that. Are you posting your results to Facebook as you go, or?
No. Oh God, yeah. That reminds me. Did I have a scratch card this week? No, I didn't.
No, that was last week.
That was last week, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. And I was a bit worried about getting into this sticker book because I hadn't seen the movie at this time, whereas some people had seen the movie.
Yep.
And I decided on a whim. I went Sunday night to go see it.
Mm-hmm. And bearing in mind that Jim has not seen it.
Fully aware of that.
Cool.
Brief thoughts about it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Cool. Okay.
Fucking loved it.
Nice. Good. That's good. Cool. We will talk more about it another time, I'm sure. Because I think it might be worth a discussion.
Yep.
But, as with all these things, we did one for Space Doc Jury, but the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking over things I said. And we ended up doing a mini-sode that was 2.5 hours long.
Nice.
Nice. But anyway, anything else, sir?
No, that's it.
Okie-doke, brilliant. Okay, well, on to you, Mr. Barnard.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
It's been a haze of alcohol and more alcohol and a bit more alcohol, actually.
Really?
It is the the Christmas season, and the office parties and other parties are in full swing. And, I've seen a few of the Black Dog regulars out and about.
Yes.
I think I've seen, just about every one of the usual regular crowd that we mix with within London at the Chandos in Charing Cross, just because it's the cheapest place to go.
Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
That beer tastes like fucking meths.
It's all right. It does the job. It gets you wasted.
No, go on.
The man in a box, the Alpine Lager.
Tastes like a man's been sitting in a box, all right.
It does, yes.
Fucking hell, he's been shitting in a box.
Nothing to do with the Nine Inch Nails track.
Or living in a box by living in a box.
Living in a box, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was great to see everyone out and about. So that was all good. Other than that, not much else.
No.
Apart from only having what I already believed confirmed to me this week, that when it comes to bus stops, I think you can just see, it sums up humanity. I think bus stops in England now sum up humanity.
Do I need to curb your enthusiasm?
You might need to.
Okay.
Right?
Well, you need to get closer to the mic.
I'm getting closer to the mic. Here
Hold
I am.
on. Carry on.
Okay. You see, way back, many sort of like tens of years ago, people used to actually queue for a bus. Okay, they used to go to these ancient sort of like totems called bus stops, and they used to stand by them, waiting quite patiently for the bus.
Yes.
Okay, because you get it. It's just a polite thing to do. If you're there first,
Yeah.
that's it. You're allowed to get on the bus first.
Yeah.
Right? You don't just turn up 2 seconds before the bastard thing shows up
No.
and then push to the front of the fucking queue.
No.
Right?
You need to get much closer to that mic.
I need to get much closer.
Yeah, there you
Jesus
go.
Christ, I'm literally going to be...
That's what you get for swapping mics.
This is yours?
Yeah.
Turn it up a bit. You
All
want a
right.
techno wizard? Come on. Jesus, what do I pay you for?
You don't.
I don't pay you. That's true, yes.
Go on and carry on.
So, now, I know school kids are a bit of a problem with bus stops.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid they pale into insignificance when set against the biggest bunch of cunts you're ever likely to fall over when it comes to a bus stop. And that's old people. Old people are the fucking worst when it comes to bus stops.
Careful now.
Right?
Careful. You're one of your own.
I am. I'm getting there.
You're turning on your own.
No, it's like, if you want to go to the front of a queue, right? If you go there, I'll probably let sort of like, the old age pensioner, and you go, oh, go on, you get in there before me. Not a problem. Right?
Yeah.
When you assume that I'm going to do that, then I'm sorry, that's when it becomes a whole new different ball game, right? That's been when I become the follower of the queue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like an ancient order of knights.
I am one with the queue.
I am one with the queue.
The queue is me.
Exactly. And I will let you on first if you are in front of me, okay? And just because you're at the front of the queue, you can't let your 27 mates in, because you've got to go down the line and agree with each of us that they're allowed to get into that position, okay?
I am one with the queue. The
I
queue
am
is
one
with
with
me.
the queue. The queue is with me. So anyway, I'm at Grove Park today, right? And and there's quite a few people. They're all milling around because nobody knows how to queue any fucking way, right? Okay. The 284 comes in, and I'm about to go for it when all of a sudden I feel myself listing on one side, right?
Yeah.
Just after this slicing motion at the back of my fucking knee, right?
Right.
I turn round and there's this little old lady with a bag full of fucking tins, right? I mean, sharp-edged fucking biscuit tins.
She's professional, mate.
Yeah. And she looks at me as if to say, how dare you bleed over my fucking shopping, you twat.
Oh, yeah. It's
And
a bit
I'm
rude.
like, it's when you're so kind of taken aback by something that you just stand there open-mouthed,
Yeah.
and the enemy kind of just sails on by and gets on. And she's rugby tackling people just to get on the bus. She's only like about 3'4", and she
Fucking
goes,
Yoda, mate.
yeah, she goes through him like a rugby tackling Yoda. That's it. On your ass, you will be.
Nice.
So,
And you said something naturally, or did you tut and look the other
no,
way?
I stood there with my mouth open. It's like,
Nice.
fucking hellfire. Why are we bothering spending billions on arming our troops when we could just drop some old age pensioners? What we do, right? We find out where, the ISIS main camp is, and we stick a bus stop there, right? And we have somebody drive up on a bus, right? And we just say, we tell them, the bus stop is on the other side of that encampment.
Yeah.
There's a bus coming in. And there's a bunch of young whippersnappers trying to get on the bus before you. And it's pension day. Go for it. I'll tell you what, that would sort out
That
all
would
that
do
problem.
it.
That would be it. There
That
would be
would.
no more issues.
No. There would be bodies everywhere.
There would be, yeah.
And a faint smell of wintergreen and deep heat
Yep.
and Parma violets
And Palmer violets as well.
just littering the landscape.
You could just see them when they're in camp and they'd be like, what's that smell? Oh no!
Get away from the bus stop. Get away from the...
Evacuate!
Get out of there.
Yeah. So there we go. That's
That was
my
That's your week.
that's my rant of the day. My rant of the week. Nothing
Nice.
to do with old people and bus stops.
Nice. Lovely. There. Right. Well, my week, basically...
Of course, Rogue One as well.
Oh, Rogue One. Yeah.
Rogue One.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Right. Okay, cool.
Don't talk about the old lady again then.
Yeah, Rogue One.
Yeah, she is Rogue One. That's it. Yes.
Anyway, so...
Fucking. She is. I'll tell you what.
That's
You know,
Rouge One.
you know that song Wrecking Ball, right? That's who Miley Cyrus wrote it about, right? She obviously had a bad experience with an old age pensioner at a bus stop. You came in like a wrecking ball.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should have been riding on a little tartan pull trolley.
Yeah.
Instead of a wrecking ball. Anyway, lovely. My week, I saw Rogue One as well. More I think about it, the more I feel there's flaws, the things that bother me, but I won't say more than that. But it is overall a good film. There you go. That's all I can say right now. I went to... you're hearing my squeaky chair. That's why you're turning around.
No, I thought there was someone on my shoulder, and it's just my fucking coat. So it's I thought the Grim Reaper has come up with me at last. Oh no, it's just my snorkel hood.
You twat. It's like being in a house with a fucking mental person. You're going to start fighting shadows with your own kings in a minute.
It's that thing from Only Fools and Horses with Uncle Albert.
As the Grim Reaper slides in. Okay. Right. Well, that's the end of that jingle. I won't bother with the rest. Basically, my week has been a bit like Jim's, because not only did I have work, which was relentless, grim production of a corporate video, which got given to me on the Monday, and then got told, we've got no script, but we would like you to encompass 2015 and sum that up in the world, and then sum up the world in 2016, and then sum up the last year in the company. And I said, what projects? Oh, we'll give you some projects. And then all I got was a bunch of names. And it's like, that's not a script. That's just a bunch of names. Anyway, 48 hours I went without sleep to make that video.
God.
Literally 48 hours.
I'd love to have seen the finished product after no sleep for 48 hours.
The finished product.
You look like Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte rolled into one.
No, I did. I did. I look like Eddie Murphy had been chewing a whelk and then was eaten by Nick Nolte. Anyway, and so that was a pretty rough couple of days. That took me right up to Friday, and then basically I was sitting there. I knew I'd had no sleep whatsoever because I kept blinking out of existence. I would be sitting on a train, and I'd be sitting there, and the train's rolling along, and I'm thinking, right, I'm going to get off the next stop, and I'd blink, and then I was 2 stops further down the line past the stop I was supposed to be at.
Oh,
and then I'd get back, and then I'd get back on the train going the other way. I'd blink, and there was 1 stop the other way past my train stop, and I'd go back, and I was slowly sort of working my way back in. And then I found myself sitting down and saying to the kids, "No, you can stay up till 9 o'clock. That's fine. I'll just sit here, play the Xbox for a little bit while your mum's out, and then you can go to bed." And I blinked, and it's like 20 to 10, and then Carol's walking in through the door, going, "Why are they still up?" And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" So. Yeah, so I've had a kind of weird mental sort of issue there. Then, during that time, I jumped off Facebook. I had a Facebook facecation, in case anyone wondered what happened there. That's because I didn't want to see Rogue One spoilers. I was lacking so much sleep that I was finding myself getting irritated with people saying things like, "Hey, have a great day." And then I started a fight on a Rick and Morty fan site.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, that kicked off. And it was just like... And I just like...
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, that escalated quickly. People were after season 3, and I'm like, why don't you just stop fucking whining? People have to make this shit, you know? And it just went... thousands of people going, "Oh, fuck off." And I'm like, oh, yeah, really? You're saying fuck off? That's great. Well done, you. I'm glad you're using big words. Fucking
wow, you...
Just light it, fucking throw it in there. Boom.
Never go for retard, man.
I went full.
You went full on, didn't you?
So that all kicked off. And then finally I found the perfect gif of Rick. That's how I'd pieced out, drop my mic, of Rick with a big stone, big plum stone, going, "You need to take those opinions, Marty, and push them way up your ass." Like, way up your ass. And it was like, that's it. Peace out, 5000G, I'm out. Anyway, did that. And then I went to Panto. And my Panto was with Craig Revel Horwood of Strictly Come Dancing. Yeah?
Who hell he?
Who hell he?
That was the one I came up and just fucking got in the face of outside the pub.
Anyway.
Well, I was a little bit drunk.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, hello. Anyway,
Yep.
I went to this Panto, and it sort of decided, I think about halfway through, that they couldn't make Peter Pan any more bland. So they decided to go the other way and went from double entendres for the parents to single entendres for the parents. And went to the point where the entire audience was sitting there going, pretty much all the way through it. There's a bit where Craig What's-His-Face as Captain Hook is singing to the magic, there's always like the avatar who turns up at sort of like and talks to the audience and says, blah, blah, blah. And she was a mermaid. And she's like a magic mermaid. Anyway, she turns up and faces off against Captain Hook, as you remember in Peter Pan, not happening.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a song which is something along the lines of, like, you're just too good to be true, can't take my eyes off of you. Like this kind of weird romance thing. Yeah. And as they're doing this, finally, the lyrics change to the bit where it's sort of like, what was it? You're such a dish, I'm gonna make your fishy flaps wet or something like this.
What?
And
Fishy
fishy flaps wet.
He used the word flaps in front of children.
Fishy, flaps and wet. And that's when I looked at Carol and she just basically spattered coffee all over the guy in front. It was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then a guy comes out, right? It was like Meet the Feebles. The guy comes out, he's got a fucking turtle that's like a puppet. And he's got the turtle and he goes, hello, children. And everyone goes, hello. And they go, I've got my turtle Willie here.
Oh, God.
And they're like, hello, Willie. And he goes, can any of you boys and girls come and wake up my Willie? And it's like, you're going to fucking jail, mate. You are. And it carried on until eventually he pulled the turtle out.
Yeah.
He made a comment about pulling out the turtle's head. Right? And then when the turtle's running around, he's got like the turtle now as a sock on his arm, and he's got the shell in the other hand. He goes, no, you got to get back in, Willie. And Willie goes, how can I get in? He goes, well, it's easy. I've always shoved the Willie in the back entrance.
Wow.
And we were all like, fuck now. You can see all the teachers who had taken this school of kids looking at each other going, shall we go? Who do we complain to? What the fuck?
Come on, children.
We're leaving. And literally, there was a whole skit with Smee doing this whole thing where he tells everyone how he met his girlfriend using a bag of sweets. And he goes on. He goes something along the lines of she was a drifter, and I met her, and also I met her. She was a drifter, but I had my Milky Way with her because I made a ripple in her Snickers. It's like, what? Did you just say that? And he said, but it was okay because she's a bit like Polo. She's a mimp with her. And then he stopped, and as he stopped, because now the audience is like, he goes, with fresh breath. It's like, you, dude, are going to a new level of hell.
He's on a special list now.
He's on a special list now. Anyway, so that was fucking excruciating. Anyway, because of the fucking corporate video, I missed the midnight screening of Rogue One, which pissed me off even further, so that was another reason for mistacation. And, I can't remember the rest of it. I'm sure there was something else. Well,
but there was when you actually sat down, because we were in the cinema together. A few rows back, and I've got Laura sat next to me, and it's like, I really hope they both enjoy this film.
Yeah. And
I'm sitting there, and it's like the film comes on, and the first character says something, and as they says that, great big fucking subtitles appear on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it turned out that our screening had subtitles on it.
Yeah, and I thought, I suddenly my brain made the calculations where you're concerned. I thought, oh, fuck, he's going to rate it now.
And then in about 2 minutes, I was down the front.
Yeah, he was like, I see you march out the front. Excuse me, usher. I would like to point out that no subtitles were mentioned when buying, or should I say purchasing, the family ticket.
Indeed. And and that basically resulted in.
I thought you were very good though. You were very calm because he came out with one statement, and I thought this is it. He's just unlocked the door for Lee. He's unlocked the gate, and he's holding the gate open for Lee to go through because, you know, he's holding it wide enough open. It's like there's so many possibilities with comebacks Lee can have from this. When he turns to Lee and he says, "Well, it said so on the website."
Yeah, he said so on the fucking website. Didn't say so on my fucking ticket when I purchased it, you tit. And I had the thing on a digital thing, and I just gave it to him and showed it to him. And I went, no.
He's like, well, what about buying tickets from the fucking ticket hall?
Ticket hall.
And it was like the Android that didn't have the answer.
No.
It was like, it was on the website.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking. And then I turned around and said, oh, yeah, even the ushers didn't know it was supposed to be a subtitled screening. Because when I went out to them and said, can you turn this off? They went, oh, has it got subtitles on it? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Are you sure? Walk in.
Do you know what the meaning of the actual phrase audio description actually means? It doesn't mean subtitles on screen going, What was it? What was some of the stuff it was coming out with? It was describing the noise.
Yeah, inaudible mechanical noises.
Yeah, and it says, and there's one bit, and I won't
indistinct say, groaning.
It says so and so's theme tune, and it's like, well, hold on a minute. So you're telling a deaf person this who's never heard that theme tune. So what is the fucking point?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, here's a surprise announcement of a character you didn't know was going to be here, but we're actually going to announce him by putting it on the fucking subtitles before you see the character.
Yes.
It was like cunty subtitles. Anyway, right. That was my week. I'm sure there was other bits, and I'm sure I'll have flashbacks going, oh shit, I should have said that. But let's wrap it up. And now, it's 300, obviously. It's the episode 300.
Yep.
So, you know what? We got to do something special. And you know what? There's a lot of you out there who have heard the phrase script sandwich. Now, for one night only, the new 4-person Black Dog, because when we did script sandwich, there was only 2 of us.
There were. We'd often thought, I wonder what we'd like to attempt this with 4. Pretty dangerous. I think we had a few fatalities when it was tried before.
We tried it out last time. We nearly came off on a bend.
Oh, man. So this is all exciting.
Tonight, for you, ladies and gentlemen, script sandwich comes back. We are going to reenact a script using all 4 of us. It may or may not be successful. Teeth may be lost. But before we do that, what we need to do is set the scene for you, because this obviously helps. And so what we're going to do is we're going to describe to you exactly what sandwich we have prior to us reading out the script. And then in the Facebook group, you, ladies and gentlemen of the Facebook group, can send in what you think the scene we were doing was. The winner will just get kudos points. There's no prizes. So, let's get started, shall we? And basically, what we will do, he says, hoping this fucking video ad bollocks will go away quickly.
Skip
3, 2, 1.
Go,
skip ad. There you go. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to go around the table and ask everyone what their sandwiches are. So, let's get started with you, Jim. What sandwich
I have on brown bread, slow-cured Wiltshire ham with a soupçon of English mustard.
Lovely. That sounds very nice indeed. Is the bread thick cut or?
It is thick cut in crusty.
Nice. Lovely. And what about you, Elton? What's your sandwich?
I have some homemade bread. And on that bread, I have some crunchy peanut butter.
Nice. Do you have peanut butter plain, or do you have the butter underneath?
Oh, no. I always go plain.
Whew. He goes dry, ladies and gentlemen. He goes in dry.
Goes commando.
Commando peanut butter sandwich. Okay. And over here, Darren, what do you have?
Well, I've got a white breaded sandwich that smells absolutely fantastic.
It's fresh bread from Waitrose.
And spread rather wide. Can you believe it's not butter?
No, it's Lurpak, actually.
It's Lurpak.
Fucking heathen.
And laying upon that Lurpak, buttering itself up, is a slice of breaded ham. and upon that breaded ham, forcing itself upon the breaded ham, is the cheddar cheese.
You have to stop. Hang on.
Oh no, this isn't any ordinary sandwich. This is an S&M sandwich.
Oh, there we go.
And upon my sandwich, I have thick cut, bread.
Can you actually open it up?
No, I can't open it up. I have thick cut bread with a thin slathering of Lurpak on each slice, in between which we have a combo of thin, smooth peanut butter and crunchy peanut butter.
Ooh.
And mix and match. One
Smooth and crunchy.
smooth and yet crunchy.
Smooth and crunchy, crunchy and smooth.
It's got the sweetness of the smooth and the texture of the crunchy. And a little bit of butter just to wet the whistle, to take it all the way down.
Many people have done that and not survived to tell the tale.
No.
Did you go for the haute cuisine Parisian route and add a soupçon sprinkling of sugar puffs?
Sadly, the sugar puffs were unavailable.
Classy.
Now, can I ask one last question before the music runs out? Are your sandwiches cut in two, or is it just a whole sandwich? Elton?
I was going to choose the triangular sandwich, but I have been bold tonight and gone for a full sandwich.
Okay. What about you, Jim?
I'm of the traditional two halves.
Oh, two halves, okay. And what about you, Darren?
Well, rather cheekily, my bread hasn't been sliced.
Ah.
It's a wanton
It's still in the loaf.
It's a wanton sandwich that wants to be bitten into, rather seductively.
Right. Okay.
Swallowed. It wants to be swallowed. Not spat out. Swallowed.
And mine is a gigantic solid hole. So, that's our sandwiches.
How does your hole smell?
Smells bready. Bit yeasty, if I'm honest.
Have you taken the cream for that? Aniston, I understand, is very good.
Yes. Anyway, so, there you go. Hopefully that's what you whistle. You understand. We have a dog sitting at our feet now because it's realised that the sandwiches are on the move. And now, for your delectation and delight, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you a small scene from Script Sandwich where you can all
go and have a shower. I'm sorry. I just
where you will all suddenly discover precisely why we didn't do this at all.
Okay.
Agreed. Francis?
Yes, I think Genius' point is very valid. Wait, provided the movement never forgets that it is the inalienable right of every man or woman to rid himself or herself.
Agreed.
Thank you, brother. Or sister. Where was I?
I think it's finished.
Oh, right.
Mouthful.
Oh,
Furthermore, it's the birthright of every man or woman. Why are you shut about women, Stan? You're putting us off. Women have the right to vote or women right.
why are you always on about women, Stan?
I'm not women. What? I'm not just a woman. From now on, I want... Now listen.
What?
It's not what everyone. What, sorry? I don't have babies. What, babies? And every man's wife has babies if he wants it. But he can't have babies.
messages, man. You haven't got a room. Where's the thing that's going to just take? You're going to keep it in a box? Huh? Good idea, Judith. Eat your fucking sandwich. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, sister, sorry. What's the point? What? What's the point of fighting for your right to have babies when you can't have babies? It's symbolic of our struggle against the person. Symbolic of your struggle against reality.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Script fucking sandwich. You wanted it. It's back.
Only done twice before, I believe.
Once. Wow. Well, there you go.
That's a damn good sandwich.
It's a damn good sandwich, wasn't it? Oh, dear. Well, so if you think you know what that was, don't post us. Don't send it to us as feedback.
Tragedy, that's what it was.
Fucking disaster is what it was. Just put your thoughts down on the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast. Let us know what you think it is. Well, everyone fine? Everyone had their sandwich?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Oh,
yeah. Dear. God, dear. So everyone's had their sandwich. Everyone's had script sandwich. I'll tell you what, though. Have you seen this bit of paper before?
Oh no!
Where have all the heroes gone? We're left with all the nods. I just want one Superman and not this bunch of slobs. Not a single one of them could take on Mr. Freeze. They're so lightweight they could get blown away in a stiff breeze. The shitty heroes, their Spanish costumes are just a little bit too tight. They're not very cool and they're not very fast, and they're most likely die in a fight. It's shitty heroes. Just one look at these dudes and you know they ain't right. Marvel DC doesn't mean much to me because they are a total shite.
Hulk smash! Puny lunch singer.
Right, okay. Return of shitty superheroes, even temporarily for 300 as well. Hey, look at this, look at this. It's going to be a 72-hour podcast. Hooray! Right, so, this week, well, I got bombarded, I think it's safe to say, from a fiendish Dr. Will, who had one or two that's still left in the chamber that he couldn't resist. And he sent them over as part of the celebration, and I had to look through them. And there's a few. So I'm trying to work out which one's best to do, but I think I'll do this one. Right, okay. Thomas Lara Perez is a student in Empire State University and a crime-fighting partner of a rookie hero, Koi Boy. And he has the power to talk to chipmunks. He is the chipmunk hunk. Very little is known about Thomas Lara Perez. Apparently born with his superhuman ability, he became a costume crime fighter when his friend, Koi Boy, both began attending Empire State University. His power and abilities. Chipmunk Hunk is able to communicate with chipmunks. He is also superhumanly strong, and he's fairly agile and reasonably good in hand-to-hand combat. Koi Boy, I'm just looking up right now because I've just clicked on the thing and it's all gone wrong. There you go. Koi Boy has the power to talk to fish. He can't swim.
Okay.
He can just talk to fish. Very little is known about Ken Shiga, a.k.a. Koi Boy. Apparently also born with superhuman abilities. Koi Boy becomes friends with fellow crime fighter Chipmunk Hunk while attempting to defeat the evil Hippo during Ratasoka's attempt to take over the world. He and the other heroes join forces to take her down. The Koi Boy is able to communicate with fish. The limits of his abilities are unknown. He's also able to swim and breathe underwater. He's able to grow very slowly to fit the size of a container. So he grows to the size of his own fish tank, basically.
There's just corners left of water, aren't there?
Or a square bloke stuck in a fish tank. Due to his powers, he has developed an advanced knowledge of fish and the fish adjacent.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be really shit.
Are you still eating that bloody sandwich?
No.
The other group, which was supplied by Fiendish Dr. Will, is the Band of Bland, Earth 616, who are a group of mundane, derivative, and stereotypical wannabe supervillains that no one's ever heard of, including Dr. Angst, who summoned together the group in Central Park because he claimed that they all shared one common thing. None of them had ever had an original thought in their lives. He stated he wanted the group to band together and make a name for themselves, but in actuality, he has been hired by an unknown party to kill the then presidential candidate Howard the Duck. Before seeking out and attacking Howard, Angst gave the group metal spheres created from mystical elements called Promethium that's supposed to enhance their power, and as it turned out, Promethium is actually a mystical placebo and has no real effect on its user. Nonetheless, the group, now believing they were stronger than ever, attacked Doctor Strange's sanctum, where Howard was conversing with the Defenders, and they soon defeated the band, and they were all sent to prison. The band comprises of members Sitting Bullseye, who... well, I'll disable the... Fuck off. Fucking... bloody Marvel and its ad blocker bollocks. Sitting Bullseye. He's crap. Sitting Bullseye is a former CIA agent who has a bullseye on his chest. Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Angst, as we've meant. And this is a brilliant one. The Spanker.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Spanker.
Fred Hovell was once the headmaster of a private prep school and was fired when he decided to use excessive corporal punishment. His obsession with punishing rule breakers led him to create a costume persona of the Spanker. Equipped with his spanking paddles, he would paddle anyone who he deemed deserving. And, in fact, we'll go with him, the Spanker. Darren, can you see the Spanker right from here?
Where?
That bloke there.
Oh, him.
Yes.
During the day, is he a banker?
Is he a spanker banker?
Could it be? Yeah.
He could be. I will find a picture for my fellow friends here. The Spanker Marvel. I'm gonna regret googling this, aren't I?
Yep.
I'm gonna really regret this. Right. Okay. There we go.
God.
View image. There you go. Copy that. Drop that in there. There's the Spanker for you all. And he is saying, I am the Spanker, former headmaster of an exclusive private prep school, wrenched from my position for administering excessive corporate justice. And he's wearing basically a onesie, holding a bunch of what looks like marshmallows on a stick.
Yep.
And some paddles.
Like table tennis bats.
Table tennis bats, that's right.
And he appears to have a smiley face on his chest, sort of Punisher style.
Yeah. So
why?
I don't know. It really makes zero sense to me whatsoever.
And the marshmallows to entice little children in.
It's getting dodgy, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, there you go. that's not one, not two, but several shitty superheroes for you. Again, proving once again why we dropped this segment.
I got I typed in Koi Boy into Google.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, have you got a link? Because I clearly types in wrong somehow.
No, you're on your own.
Bollocks.
your internet history is your own. You knew the risks. Right. Okay. Well, there you go. So that's that was our shitty superhero system again. It's just all for you. See all these. You can see all the reasons why we killed these fucking things off. So thank you very much for that, fiendish Dr. Will. And yes, I would ask for more, but obviously this is a one-off. So thank you again. And now we're going to move on to our movie, our sad vent movie of the evening, the last movie of 2016 that we're going to review, and it is Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
No big deal, no big deal. Guardians ain't gonna feel. No lighting, turn on the chest machine, they come to steal. Black talent to shut down them shield. Sure. Why run them up in the back, don't boy. Run up in the back, don't boy. Disrespect me, side the last one. Regular, alright, disappear back. Don't fall. I don't want me, don't want them. Don't tell me, don't tell them. If them is want to hold my leg in a family. Me go home now, we win.
And that's the end of that. Well, there you go. Festive tune for everyone there. I think you'll agree.
Do not adjust your podcatcher. It was meant to sound like that.
That was Chevron with Rudy the Techno Pioneer as opposed to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But, there you go. Well, I think that sets the pace perfectly for what's coming next, which is Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas is a 2004 American faith-based Christmas comedy film directed by Darren Duan and
Trade Descriptions Act.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they fucking sued how many video games this year for trade descriptions? And written by Duan and Cheston Hervey, starring Kirk Cameron, Duan, Brigitte Ridenor, David Shannon, Raph Henley, and Ben Koenitz. The film was theatrically released by Samuel Golden Mayer Films in November 14th, 2014. The film combined...
By accident, presumably.
Yeah, was stopped by the Geneva Convention. The film combines a comedic narrative, really? With educational elements, really? In order to put Christ back into Christmas, really? The film received a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and was nominated in 6 categories in the 35th Golden Raspberry Awards and won 4, including Worst Picture. How much do you think it made? It had a budget of $500,000. Darren, how much do you reckon it made?
Let's see. Thinking about the quality. How much is a Boots meal deal these days?
About £2.50.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. Elton.
14 million.
What? Okay, fair enough. Jim.
400,000?
No. Actually, Elton was closest. It got $2.8 million for that fucking thing.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, the critical reception on Rotten Tomatoes, it did have a 0% rating based on a number of reviews, an average of 1.7 out of 10 on Metacritic. The film received a rating of 18 out of 100 based on 9 critics, indicating overwhelmingly disliked. New York film critic Ben Kingsburg said that Cameron's acting sounds so forced you half expected the camera to pull back to reveal a hostage situation.
Nice.
In the Christian Post, evangelical Christian newspaper, Emma Coons wrote, Kirk Cameron dismisses theories that Christmas is derived in a pagan celebration of winter solstice in Saving Christmas, offering viewers a biblical reference to items such as the Christmas tree instead. Furthermore, the film reveals Cameron's take on Santa Claus, the three wise men, and why Christmas is celebrated on December 25th each year. Although Cameron attempts to defend Christmas in traditions in Saving Christmas, many Christians remain divided over what exactly the Bible says about celebrating Christ's birth, as well as what varied Christmas traditions originated and from where, and what the customs mean in reference to Jesus. In other words, she's basically saying he's talking bollocks. On November 20th, Cameron responded to all the negative reviews by reposting this on his Facebook page. Gather round, children, you're going to like this. Help me storm the gates of Rotten Tomatoes. All of you out there who love Saving Christmas, go, rate it at Rotten Tomatoes right now, and send a message to all the critics that we decide what movies we want in our families to see. The attempt resulted in a severe backlash, which resulted in the internet users travelled to Rotten Tomatoes and condemned the film further. 3 weeks after its release, the film gained additional notoriety and became the lowest-rated film on the Internet Movie Database Bottom 100 list. Cameron responded to this by saying that it was due to the campaign on Reddit by haters and atheists on purpose to lower the film's ratings. So there you go. So, who would like to go first with this piece of shit? Because I don't think any of us have seen this at the same time.
No.
No.
Okay, I shall expunge my soul.
Yes, and then you can fall asleep in your chair.
I can
Grandad.
just go straight to sleep, and then you can wake me up when we get to the feedback. Yeah.
Go on then, Grandad.
Wow, what a movie. You know what? When before I started watching it, I thought I don't really want to watch this, and then I put it on, and I started watching it, and I was sitting there. And watching the action go on screen, and I thought, you know what? I really don't want to fucking watch this. It starts off quite innocent.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. It starts off with him saying, I think people have lost the meaning of Christmas, and I think people need to be shown.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps talking. It's just like goes downhill from there. Really? It's like as I said on my Facebook, it's like he's trying to be Michael Moore, but an incredibly big and wanky Michael Moore. That's what it felt like. It felt like somebody's attempt at a Michael Moore documentary.
Really?
Yeah. Not with
a bit more like Michael Less.
Michael Less. Well, yeah,
you take the usual elements of a documentary, like research and lots of facts, and you throw all that out the window.
Yeah. Well, just shit on a piece of carpet and say that's a script.
It was very, very close to a Michael Moore production. Apart from, as you say, the research, the actual proper information, the let's see,
the misunderstanding of the phrase "Lord of the Ringsy."
Yeah, I think so. Yes, the rather creepy story of Santa that they had in it, where he smiles at the end of it and he just looks like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
Bat Santa, as I called him.
Yeah. I am the knight. Yeah, now let's go bless the kids with some presents.
Get my coat.
Have you been naughty?
Yeah. It takes the presents or it gets the hose again.
Now, I like yourself, Lee, loved the breakdancing sequence.
Oh, fuck my God. That just...
Do you know what it was like? It was like, imagine you've got like this middle-aged uncle that's not actually that's not ever had sugar in his entire life, and then somebody gives him a bottle of Ribena and says, go for it. That's what that breakdance scene just said to me.
What was with the one-legged bit? On the one-legged move.
Hopping around on one leg, pulling your knee up behind your neck. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. But I'd like to say also congratulations to the two girls in the forefront there of the dancing thing and how they managed to knock that dance routine up while in their bedroom in front of the mirrors. You know, having their sleepover. There was actually a Jesus dance group or something. They're actually a professional dance group. You could see them counting in their heads, right? That was it. They weren't even listening to the music. It was just pure luck. They managed to get in.
I think they were dancing to entirely different music. You couldn't get the copyright clearance and they put something else on.
Oh man,
that was never in this film. What are you talking about?
Tell me about the music. God, the music thing has got there's a little bugbear for me with that one. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah. So the dancing.
Yeah,
it really freaked you out.
It would not stop. What the fuck was it? It would not stop. It just went on and 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 on, and it wouldn't stop and goes on and on and on.
It's still going.
It's still going in my head forever. Till I die, I will never get the vision of someone's mother doing a split twerk in front of me to the sound of Hark the Herald Angels Sing or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
It's just... What? What the fuck was that? Why?
Oh man. It's kind of was a good job that I was drunk when I watched this last night. Because I don't know how I would have coped with the trauma.
Sobriety would have just not been your friend.
And the PTSD that will inevitably follow at some point.
You will. You'll wake up in the middle of the night. It'll be like Alexander O'Neill in You Were Here Tonight video. You'll just wake up bolt upright in a puddle of sweat, looking around, clutching at the invisible demons in the air.
Well, I'll be sitting there gurning like a cow.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like a cow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, just the whole. And what was it? He had sort of like, you know, he had his black friend there who was
the whitest black person in the universe,
who was really kind of a bit over the top. I think what they obviously did was, I don't think he actually knew Cameron. I think he'd been brainwashed. That's what it was.
I think they researched black culture by watching Soul Man from the 80s.
It honestly looked like they literally spent all the special effects on making a white guy look like a black guy, and then unfortunately he just couldn't pull it off.
Oh man,
it just as the Roger Ebert review said, that was the whitest thing I've ever seen. Oh God. It's fucking ludicrous. It's like if I went out, it's like me walking in to I don't know, I can't even think of a thing that wouldn't make me sound like an immense racist, but walking in somewhere and going, "Yo, homies, give me some skin." Yeah, dig. It's like that was that guy all the way through. It was like, what the fuck? All I had in my head was that song by Outkast, you know, "Say you're pretty fly for a white guy." Bow, 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 bow. Every time he arrived. Anyway, sorry.
They did actually
it's
pull
leaking out. It's leaking out.
Every cliche for, you know, the token black actor in a film with that character. Just some of the phrases coming out with, and just everything.
Yeah. And they couldn't quite decide whether or not he was going to be gay or just camp as well, because every now and again he'd throw in a just for no apparent reason.
He was
no discernible reason whatsoever.
He was gamp.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just plucking shit out of the air now. I just really am.
Okay.
This did for me.
Did you?
It did me in. It really did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shall I leave it for the moment? Go to one of the other guys, or
I think it's probably best. I'm just gonna go and have a sleep now.
You go have a sleep. It's fine. Okay then. Well, what about you, Jim?
I think my overwhelming impression of this film was severe disappointment. In more ways than one. Now, just for you folks at home, when I watch a film for the Black Dog, I try and watch it, under like proper, movie buff conditions on the big telly, clear schedule. Now, for this, having seen the howls of outrage on Facebook, and I was really wondering whether we'd done the right thing.
Yeah.
I felt very bad about it, actually.
Yeah, me too.
But, I had my tablet. I was ready to make a shit ton of notes. And, as it happened, I had a couple of interruptions to the film. Just things came up I had to deal with. Which did mean I became very aware of all the timing of the film. And I sat there and kind of, like, the first 20 minutes is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
He just sat there. He's not building an argument. He's not really stating his case. He sort of set his stall out going, well, people are a bit down on Christmas. How he spins it out for 20 minutes, I don't know. That might be a Christmas miracle right there. And I'm watching him looking at the guy. Come on. Yeah. I've got, I'm poised here, Yeah. People listen to my podcast now. I am, an expert on matters mythological, folklore.
Yep.
I'm pretty shit hot on my history. I was, really... a few years ago, has anyone seen the internet documentary Zeitgeist?
Yeah.
And a friend of me, it's in 3 parts. A friend of me asked me, he said, oh, have you seen it? No. He said, what's the bit on religion like? He got an essay back going, wrong, rubbish, made that up, totally inaccurate, don't know where they got that from. And I was expecting something similar for this, and I was there 20 minutes twiddling my thumbs going, oh, come on, get on with it.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, admittedly, when he gets to his argument, oh, boy, I'll come back to that. But effectively, at 55 minutes, they're getting out the car, and I'm going, you're done then? Boyfriend sliding along the floor into some presents. And I'm going, what are you going to do for the rest of the film? Oh, I see. 10-minute dance routine.
Yep.
Nearly 10 minutes of credits.
Oh, God. With humorous outtakes.
And then nearly 10 minutes of outtakes. It's kind of... I've seen some bad films. I've seen worse films than this, in fairness. I've seen more reprehensible films than this. But I've got to say, this does deserve its place in bad cinema history, because this is one of the flabbiest padded films I have ever seen. And just shamelessly padding those credits out. Let's put 2 song credits on every screen in really big letters. It was like, what the fuck? Was there some tax break or a grant? He had to hit 80 minutes?
Yep, that's it.
I don't know. To get to his arguments, what actually amazed me is all of them.
Yeah, from the start.
From the start. It's kind of, dude, would it have killed you to pick up your Bible? Really? The nativity scene recreation is kind of, it wasn't in a cave. It was never in a cave.
No.
Where the fuck have you got that from?
No.
And then he goes, now, take away Joseph. I'm going, okay. We've got a young girl, newly born, young mother, frightened. Now take Mary away. Okay. Now take the baby Jesus away. Hang on.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you've just got to run.
This really isn't your argument. This isn't how you do an analogy, Kirk. And then he goes, the cloth thing.
Yeah. Oh.
And afterwards, the brother-in-law goes, I never saw that cloth thing. And in my notes, he says, well, you fucking wouldn't, would you? Because no other bastard in nearly 2,000 years has made that mental connection. This is like claiming T.J. Hooker is Captain Kirk. But, that sounds reasonable, Swaddling cloths aren't the same as shrouds. And I'm pretty sure Jesus died of being crucified, not by being wrapped in a cloth, you cunt.
No, he was nailed to a Christmas tree, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Because he had an apple in him.
The Christmas tree thing.
He's trying to turn it into a plot twist.
I know.
Oh! It was like Chekhov's shroud or something. It was mental. The thing about Christmas trees, that what gets me, if you just bother to go to Wikipedia, you'll discover the origin of Christmas trees under current scholarship is that actually they're nothing to do with paganism. They're nothing to do with Druids.
No.
Nothing. Because you know what you know about the Druids? Fuck all. That's what we know about the Druids. Literally. All we've got is a handful of references by the Romans, and they're not to be trusted because they painted them out to be maniacs because they couldn't beat them.
Yep.
But, actually, it seems it was like 16th century Germany among Protestant Christians from an earlier tradition of the 25th of December was the Feast of Adam and Eve, which remembered the fall of man. And they had actually, this Christmas tree tradition evolved out of what used to be in medieval times paradise trees, where they'd put on mystery plays and mumming plays that retold a lot of old Bible stories, and also lots of ribald sort of proto-panto stuff as well. And when Protestantism came in, they knocked all that on the head because it was a bit too much eating, drinking, getting merry, and people started putting the trees in the house.
Yeah.
Then later, the presents under the Christmas presents go back way, way, way back. Presents under the tree, very, very recent. But the thing is, if you wanted to make that argument that Christmas trees are a Christian symbol, just go to Wikipedia and it's there. You can do it. And, your history, gold star. Well done. Instead, he has this absolute twaddle instead and making these leaps of logic, just seemingly find a tree in the Bible. Oh, that'll do. It was sort of like a present.
Yeah.
You gave him some wood. That'll do. No, he won't.
Yeah. It's a tree. It's made out of wood, and just that symbolises the tree where we had an apple taken from. And last Adam with the apple in him, gets nailed up to a tree. So he's given the apple back. What the fuck? What kind of bullshit is that? I mean, I am the most disbelieving, cynical fucker when it comes to religion. But shit like that, even then, you're just like. Even in your own context, your own story of Bible and religion and whatever, none of that makes any sense. So what? So Jesus was the last guy? That apple went really far? I mean, what?
Well, he did feed all those
It's
people with the
absolutely
fishes and the bread.
ham-fisted. I think I know what he was thinking of, but being a strange being masquerading as a human, and I suspect he's actually just a raisin that looks pleased with himself. He's failed to understand it because, I mean, you have the traditional carol service invented by E.F. Benson's dad, by the way. This is, but that starts with the Genesis story with the fall of man because Christ's birth is the redemption for man. And he's brought apples and trees and nailing people. He's just absolutely mangled this. It's a disgrace. It really is. I mean, I say that... with the full weight of historical knowledge behind me, it's kind of what gets me is kind of these weird places he went to. And the Santa thing. I mean, last year I did a 4-part series on Santa, and the idea that Santa is a pagan figure is very, very shaky indeed. According to modern scholarship. And there's it's Saint Nick and Saint Nick known under other names for various reasons. But this incident that he alludes to is a little known legend of Saint Nick, of where he was at the Council of Nicaea, which set out the early church creed. And Saint Nicholas got a little angry with one of the other speakers and slapped him across the face to stop him shouting. And he got thrown out and told off for it. Now, he didn't get made a saint for that. The reason Saint Nicholas was a saint was because he performed miracles. He was the patron saint of sailors originally, because his big miracle was he saved some sailors from a storm. And he was venerated and very popular in medieval times because most of the other saints at the time were people who had died for their faith. Saint Nick was highly recognized as a saint because in his life he did good works. The story was he'd been a rich man who actually used his fortune to help the poor, and there's legends about how he threw gold through poor people's windows and and that's where you get Christmas presents from, or in some cases dropped them down the chimney in later versions. This is how it all works. Now, the Council of Nicaea, it didn't take place in a snowy forest like some outtake from Conan Goes North. It wasn't a quarterstaff fight. And the fact, there's all this other stuff he could have mentioned and made his case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And done it properly. But he went to these weird mental places.
Yeah, he wanted to put his own stamp on it, didn't he?
His own stamp. I mean, I don't know what's in that hot chocolate he was on.
The fucking Kool-Aid.
Bloody hell. I mean, oh.
We mentioned...
I was just watching, laughing in bafflement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like, I can't believe he's done that. What? This isn't out. You went there. But the thing is, the overall thing is, it is just so flimsy.
Mm.
It's just absolutely so flimsy. And it is just so padded with just people busking frantically.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
And as for the dance routine, I'm developing a theory that a truly bad movie has extraneous musical interludes in it.
Yep.
CF, Mac and me.
Yes.
The numerous semi-musical love scenes in the room.
Yes.
I think we've hit on a real true part of utterly bad movie DNA.
I was going to say
unnecessary musical interludes.
Was there anything? Well, there was just the stupid opening for Santa Claus versus the Martians, wasn't it? Or
and at the end, sing along at the end.
Sing along at the end, yeah. Musical interludes.
There
wow,
you go.
I think you've cracked it, Jim. It's the clue. Musical interludes now. Immediate discussion about how shit this film is.
I mean, the ultimate thing is he doesn't even get the lyrics of Santa Claus coming to town right. Seriously, he doesn't. And at one point, at the very end, in the padded epilogue, where the brother-in-law and the sister make up, if you listen to the score, you hear the pianist give up. He actually stops. Like, that's the end of the scene. And they carry on. And he goes, oh, bollocks. And he just taps another couple of chords for another 3 minutes. But you can clearly hear the score he wrote ended, and he had to do some more.
Coda.
Long. Yeah, exactly. Just rubbing his face up and down the keyboard.
And you can see there's a definite quality drop of where he just really goes, oh, I just can't be bothered.
Oh, I give up. Yeah. Oh, well. So you weren't a fan then?
Oh, it was something else. It didn't actually enrage me as much as I thought it would. But then again, because it is just so flimsy. And what it produces is just so mental.
Mm.
I was just staggered by it. Of going, you what? The swaddling cross conspiracy. Fucking hell.
Oh, God. Okay, then. Let's move on to Elton. Elton, what did you think of it, sir?
Right, well, first off, this has reminded me never to pick an argument with Jim, because he knows everything. He knows everything. It doesn't matter what it's about. He's very knowledgeable, clever, wisdom. He's almost gone into that godlike aura for me.
He's deep thought. He's from Hitchhiker's Guide. He's deep thought. That's it. He just sits there pondering upon the nature of the universe.
Wow. I gave this all the chances I could give it. I came out of Rogue One and I was very happy.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, there's not a better time for me to watch a crap movie than after watching a really good movie.
Oh, that just makes the fall even harder.
Well, it could make the fall even harder. It could work both ways, I feel. It could either taper what I would have felt if I was in a bad mood and just watching a shit movie for watching its sake, or it could raise my Rogue One may have raised my appetite for other things.
Okay.
And so I guess a better time to watch it was right there and then after watching a really good movie from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stuck it on, and I'm not knowledgeable about all this Christian stuff. I just don't know anything about it. And so the way I saw it, or the way it was put across to me as a documentary, and his mission statement was, I love this, I love trees, I love Christmas, I love songs, I love this table, I love spoons, I love floor. I love air.
I love lamp.
I love tables.
I love cookie.
It just... Okay, I was trying to work out what his mission statement was in that bit. And I was pondering over the long, drawn-out title sequence at the very beginning where they clearly run out of ideas of what to draw.
It was just pieces of crepe paper.
And then just do it again. It's like going to a gig where the band has only learnt 4 songs.
Yes.
And they go, okay, right, we played 4 songs. We're going to play them again now. Hooray!
Yeah, all together now, eh? Encore!
Because
Wow.
I've been to many of them gigs, crying out loud.
Yeah.
And that's what the intro felt like. I thought, okay, right, this isn't looking good. But I was willing to go with it. And the bit that... when he was in the car with Eric Clapton talking about what the hell was going on...
Eric Clapton.
Did you not think he looked a little bit like Eric Clapton?
I thought he looked like someone had shaved Roland Rat and stuck some glasses on him.
Well, I just called him Eric Clapton for the whole movie.
Yeah.
It was him. It was old slow hands for me.
Sorry. Euphemism.
Rocket League.
When it got into the car bit, I thought, okay, right, we're going to get somewhere. And the way they portrayed it, it's set out like a very cheap either history or Discovery Channel documentary where they've clearly got a little budget. They want to put something together. It doesn't matter if the facts are correct or not, but it fill an hour's worth of entertainment and we move on to the next subject. And that's the way I viewed it. And he was putting all this stuff across about the trees and the magical disappearing baby Jesus and lots of other stuff like the Father Christmas. And I was sat there going, I think this is utter bullshit. But do you know what? I'm going to go along with it and enjoy it because sometimes listening to other people's interpretations is quite entertaining. And so I was okay, fine, that's not too bad. And then they get out the car, and then they get to the doorstep. Doorstep, sorry.
No, the doorstop, I think you'll find.
Yeah.
The film stop.
Yeah.
And the film takes a natural slow motion from then on. Pretty much every scene has a slow motion area built into it. And that is where the padding happens. And it is just, it's hardly a movie. It's, 80 minutes? Is it 80 minutes?
Yeah, bang on.
And I'd say a good 20 minutes of that is in slow motion.
Yep.
This is the Dean Lerner School of Film Editing.
Yeah, for those
we had to use a lot of slow motion because the episodes were underrunning.
Yeah. We had a 15-minute script for a 30-minute program, so anything that wasn't dialogue was optioned for slow mo.
Well, it was exactly that though, and
It was.
It was so badly padded. It wasn't even padded in a fun way. It was just. It always felt as if there was going to be a musical number in there somewhere. It had that air of, we are going to sing at you because that's what we do. And as soon as it started happening, then they cleared the floor and they started dancing. And you're like, oh, fucking hell. And I think I could have bared it for maybe 2 minutes. But it just kept fucking going, man.
It did not end. It haunts my dreams. That dance sequence haunts my dreams. It did not end. Yeah, go on, carry on.
It feels like it was the way that it's scripted. It was done on the fly almost. It felt like, okay, right, everyone come round this weekend. We're gonna make a movie. It'll be great, and that's what they've done. And the bit where they're dancing around, they've just put the camera on a tripod, a real short fucking tripod, because that's all they had, because no other fucker wanted to hold the camera.
Staring up at 50-year-old women trying to twerk from an upskirt shot, basically. God, it's in my mind again.
But it's the thing that really got me is the padding and the stretching and elongating of watching a slow-mo of his wife slowly walk around a counter when the subject matter of her moving out around the counter has disappeared 5 minutes ago. He said something, she starts walking out, and then that subject has moved on and she's still walking out. And someone's gone to the toilet, flush the toilet, come out. Oh, I wouldn't go in there for 10 minutes. And she's still walking out. What the fuck is going on? It doesn't have any context anymore. And then we get to it actually finishes, and you think, well, hang on, because I was waiting for it to fucking end by that, and I was looking at the time on the screen, and I think I was at 1 hour 10 minutes, and it's a 1 hour 19 on 1 hour 20 minute movie. I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do for the next 10 minutes? I can do 3 minutes worth of credits on this. Okay, fine. But then they just stretch and stretch and stretch again. It's just like watching kids with chewing gum in their mouth, just pulling it out all the time.
See if they can get a Stretch Armstrong all the way down to the garage.
And I lost my shit when they did their funny bits at the end.
Oh, the hilarious outtakes.
It's just what? It's not fucking funny. You're really not funny, guys. Not even remotely funny.
Nope.
I think that our friend in the cardigan was particularly good.
What, Shaved Roland Rap?
Yeah, him who, going in.
Oh, do you mean Conspiracy Uncle?
Yeah.
Oh no. No, the Conspiracy Uncle was the bald guy talking behind his hot chocolate.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one single token black actor.
Oh.
Yeah, him.
Oh.
During the actual credits.
Can I get an amen? I don't even know what I'm talking about now. I'm just going to wave my arms about, and I'm going to do some jazz hands, and I'm going to flick my fingers, and I'm going to keep talking, because this is not going to make it into the cut. I'm going to keep talking. And he's like...
And I'm going to rap.
Yeah, and now I'm going to rap. It's like, whoa, dude, seriously. Just no. Just give it up, hand in your soul card, and just fuck off.
This is like, I can equate it to when I've listened to other podcasts and people put themselves down as comedy because they clearly think they're funny in their own head. And
we never do that.
No.
Wait, it's not titled as comedy though, is it?
No.
But there's people that really think they're fucking funny. And you really just want to grab them by the throat and go, it is not in any way fucking funny. You cunt. Really not fucking funny. But they have a little giggle and they have a little laugh. Oh look, we're so funny. This is comedy. This is how comedy should be. And no, it's not fucking comedy, man. It's just idiots gathering around, patting each other on the back, going, we're funny. And that doesn't make you funny. And same as this, they've made a film, and it's everyone patting Kirk on the back, going, "Oh, you're so great, you're a wonderful movie maker and wonderful actor and stuff like that." You're not. Everyone else is just looking at you and thinking, "What the fuck is going on, man?"
Can I go home yet? And do I get paid?
I've had enough now. Fuck it.
Okay, yeah. Well, for me, I sat down to watch it, and Carol kind of sat down there, and she was watching it as well. And she was flitting in and out. She was on her iPad doing some business stuff and just surfing the internet and what have you. And then every now and again, like one of the kids would call down, and so she'd go upstairs and come back. And I tried to explain what was going on and what was being said to her. And she just looked at me, she goes, "I don't care. I really don't." And I think that dejected kind of, "I don't even want to know," just kind of sums it up. Because Kirk Cameron, firstly, he looks like Gollum tried to sort of beef himself up for the front cover of GQ, right? And then, on top of that, he's got this smug, shit-eating grin all the way through it, where you just think he's just sitting there judging everyone all the time. So when he sits down and he sits in the car with his fucking shaved Roland rat brother-in-law, he's sitting there looking at him, and his brother's kind of sitting there looking like, and I thought this for a second, was that he was going to have the engine hose pipe going into the car. And I thought, oh, this is going to take a dark turn.
Like an aeroplane sketch.
Yeah, and literally just like while the guy's fucking suffocating on the fucking engine exhaust, come in and sit down and go, let me tell you about Jesus while the cabin slowly fills up with carbon monoxide. And he wasn't. He was just sitting there going, oh, you know, I've got all these problems, you know, I'm worried about materialism and the world and things are being horrible. And at one point, I just sort of sat there and thought, well, actually, the brother-in-law's got a point. You know, the world is turning to shit. And I thought, yeah, I may not be on that sort of religious moral thing, but, you know, he's got a point. And, you know, if nothing else, he's depressed. But what does Kirk Cameron do? He doesn't say, oh, I understand, or, oh, you've got a problem, or let me help you. He goes, no, you're wrong. Let me tell you why you're wrong.
I choked in my tea when he did that. Thought,
yeah, it's like, what?
That's Christian compassion for you.
Yeah,
well done.
Yeah, well done, Christian compassion. It's like, yeah, the bloke's going through an existential crisis. He's worried about the fact that the whole world is becoming a shallow, dull place. You know, regardless of how you feel about religion, he's sitting there going, no one cares anymore. Everyone just wants their presents. Everyone's me. And, you know, let's be honest, half of our week is you know, people complaining about how everyone's a bit me. What's Kirk Cameron do? You know what? You're wrong. You're looking at it wrong. You know what? You got to be cheerful because you know what? It's Christmas, and Christmas means you have to be cheerful, and you have to be cheerful because I like hot chocolate, and I like presents, and I like sweeties, and I like things for me. So he turns around, and Kirk Cameron is literally being the cunt the brother-in-law doesn't like. He is literally the last person that should be in that car with him, because it's like, the uncle is sitting there and it's like, oh, do you know that guy who's a Grinch? You know, that guy who brings everyone else down, you know, because he doesn't like the tinsel and he doesn't like the tree and he doesn't like too many people around him and he doesn't want to buy hundreds and hundreds of thousands of presents and skint himself on a credit card.
Because he's tight.
Yes, because he is tight. It's like, Kirk, did he only just buy you a jumper for Christmas last year or something? Is that what this is all about?
He got the towel set, not the VCR.
Yeah, exactly. He saw the box. He saw the box set of Game of Thrones on the side, and he thought, "That's mine." When it gets wrapped up, comes in, gets a fucking copy of like 7 Golden Vampires or something instead, and he's like, "I don't want this. I want Game of Thrones." Oh, damn! That's it. This guy's a Grinch. Didn't spend the money on me. And it's just like, so the bloke's actual point of like why he's depressed about Christmas, and let's not forget, Christmas for a lot of people can be a depressing time. Mm. This bloke's got Christmas depression. He's got seasonal affective disorder. He's got an issue with the world. Kirk Cameron comes in and goes, you know what, you're wrong. By the way, let me spin you a fucking tale like the likes of which Don Quixote would have trouble stretching to. I'll just pull it all together and make it all about the fact that, you know what, you should go out and spend money. You should go out and be an arsehole. You should go out and buy these things. And you should go out and do all these things. And you know what, you should take the commercialism and crassness of Jesus and Christmas and roll it all together and pull it into your heart. You know why? Because there's a fucking piece of linen on a piece of rock. What the fuck? What the fuck, Kirk? Seriously. And the fucking thing about the tree and Jesus being essentially a Christmas bauble. I mean, what deluded, maniacal fucking viewpoint of the world is that, where it's like, oh, you've eaten a, you know, we know from this, that, and the other. I mean, you know, that if you eat an apple and you steal something, the first thing you want to do is put it back. No, actually, what you want to do is finish eating the apple. Though I will admit, an apple that's covered in fucking sequins looks a little hard to chew, if you ask me. and fucking goes on about the fucking apple being in the body of man and then symbolically getting nailed back up to the tree. It's like, really? So there wasn't easier ways of doing this. There wasn't easier ways of saying, oh, I'm very sorry, here's the apple, or putting it back, or throwing it into the earth, or sending it back to the... It's the thing about this, it's the thing that I hate most about religion. It's the fact that you can take any old shit written in any old way and just tie it all back together again and go, look, this is the truth because this is how I see it. And Kirk Cameron is the fucking masterworks of pulling a load of old shit that has nothing to do with anything, pulling it all together and going, and that's why I'm right. And that's religious extremism, fundamentalism, and everything in a nutshell. That's how you can be a Class A cunt and stand there and go, God's on my side.
It's the pigeon playing the game of chess.
Yeah. Again, it's a pigeon playing a game of chess. It'll knock all the pieces over, shit all over the board, and still strut around like it's won. It is the same thing. And when he got to the thing about St. Nick, and he's a holy warrior like fucking Conan the Barbarian.
He's
and
bad Santa.
Bad Santa. And I was just dumbstruck because the thing was, it was, to me, as a non-religious person, everything that was coming out of his mouth was complete and utter nonsense. It is literally like trying to tell me the reason the sun's in the sky is because it's painted on the inside of an eggshell that goes around the earth. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? You are absolute gibbering buffoon. And then, to add insult to injury, we go to this whole thing where you're sitting there with the whitest black guy in the universe, but hiding behind his hot chocolate, while some guy from some second-rate heavy metal band sits in a corner. They both put chocolate over their hot chocolate over their mouths, and then essentially whisper far right-wing conspiracy theories at each other, saying that Christmas is under attack. I know it's under attack. How do we fix it? I don't know. It's maybe chemtrails. I don't know. Maybe we can sort something out. It's like, chemtrails? Santa is Satan? What the fuck are you talking about? And
So true.
yeah, it was just like, that was it. I felt like what I'd done was I'd accidentally pressed forward on the YouTube video and jumped to altright.com or something and just got some gibberish where someone's telling me that fucking the Exxon Valdez was the reason for fucking 9/11. I mean, what on earth did this have to do with Christmas? No idea. But we've got 10 minutes of these two cunts talking to each other behind a fucking bunch of hot chocolate. And it's like, is the hot chocolate a symbol? I mean, literally, it was like, is this the Waco house? Is this the Waco house? Are we going to get the SWAT teams and the FBI coming through the window and the whole thing exploding in a ball of flame at the end? And the music was dirge. But even funnier was, all of it was from the Extreme Music Library, which I used to use for nearly 10 years at Cartoon Network. So I recognised every single solitary track on that thing. And I'm sitting there going, it's really interesting that all the music he uses is coming from a band where basically, look them up. They're not a religious band. They just make trailer music. And they make trailer music, which if you've ever heard it, you will recognise it instantly. They're a band called, and this is the irony, 2 Steps from Hell.
Oh, yeah, I know them.
Lovely.
Right, but because it's obvious that what happens is old Kirk, he fucking realises this in the middle of putting it all together, and so what he does is he gets the entire band listing. Now, bearing in mind this is a fucking orchestra, he gets the whole band listing and crams it into the artist bar in the subject. Rather than put 2 Steps from Hell, he puts Thomas Nettart or Detart, and then like every member of the orchestra, and it's crammed into like a 1-inch space. It's like, yeah, you realised exactly how much of a hypocrite you are. You've just gone and paid a commercial music license for something based on 2 Steps from Hell, and the music when you see fucking Santa giving it some, and the old music's da 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 da, and it turns into this kind of techno sort of, as he beats the shit out of that bloke in the barn. It's called All Hell That Ends Well. That's what the actual track is called. Oh. But again, stick it down in 4-point. In all the other tracks, which are sung by his friends, big font. This thing, which is commercial music, right as small as you can get it, so you can't see the fact that he's got something that's basically a Satanist fucking title. He's a hypocrite, a buffoon, a lunatic, a gibberishing twat, and frankly, by the end of it, I was watching all the slow-mos and that fucking endless, interminable fucking dance thing, and I literally wanted to burn the fucking house to the ground. I can see how people go to a completely different religion, strap on a set of fucking detonators and walk straight into a church. I could see it, because if you see this thing, you think this is the end of humanity right here in this house. So this bunch of idiots fucking strutting around going, oh yes, this is Christmas. This is the way to solve Christmas. My wife loves Christmas. Oh, by the way, here's a slow motion of my wife walking around this table for 20 fucking minutes. And then meanwhile, we've got this fat bloke trying to do popping and locking while going, can I get me an amen? What on earth? I mean, what was it? Chris Tucker reflected in a fucking spoon? What was going on with that bloke?
Maybe he's a relative of Don No Soul Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, any second he was going to go, can I get me a beat? Puff, the magic dragon hits by the sea. It's like, what the fuck? Don No Soul Simmons. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Was a good friend of mine. You know, doing dad dancing in the middle of a fucking hallway. And the whole thing about the presents being the skyline of a New Jerusalem. What?
Oh, well, God, I've forgotten all about that.
What was that? What was that all about? New Jerusalem, what's he talking about? Was he trying to lay waste to the entire planet and rise up a new world order? What the fuck is he talking about? It was just intolerable crap. It was literally like that nutter on the bus. You always get. You're sitting on a night bus, there's always some nutter right down the fucking back who's telling you that basically the ants are talking to him, and the reason you shouldn't wear pants is because the CIA are tracking you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the worst thing I think I've ever seen. Not because it's just inept, not because everyone in it is fucking drinking a Kool-Aid, which is so intensely strong you can actually see through the dilated pupils to the back of their heads like fucking Steve Austin dolls. But it's just it was mind-numbing, and the arguments. It's like when you watch something like The Wonders of the Universe and you fall asleep at the beginning and you wake up at the very end and it says, this rock is a part of the universe, and then you fall asleep, wake up at the very end and it goes, and that's why there's multiple universes. You go, well, how do we get from the rock to multiple universes? Kirk Cameron would just go, Jesus! And it'd be like, that's it. That's all we need to know. Thanks very much. Good night.
Don't forget the jazz hands.
Don't forget the jazz hands. Oh, and there's the Christmas tree sitting amongst all the presents, looking like the tree of life shining down on the New Jerusalem. What? What and what? So, Kirk Cameron, take your crocoduck and fuck off, basically, in your shitty film, really. And don't ever look on the comments on the YouTube video. Seriously, as soon as the religious nutjobs turn in, they don't only back everything up, they call everyone else idiots. And then, on top of that, they turn around and start saying things like, oh, people just don't understand what Kirk's trying to do for Christmas. He's trying to make it, more religious and more sort of laying out to everyone else. And it's like, really? Really? So he's being generous, is he, with the fact that he's telling everyone to basically eat as much as you fucking can, drink all your hot chocolate, buy as many presents as you can, and stick it all under the tree for me. It's like, fuck off, Kirk, you hypocritical pillock.
Exactly. Not a single message of, why not, go out into your community and, make somebody else happy.
Yeah.
Which I think is closer to the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah. It's more like Kirk Cameron has a Christmas list, and here's a reason why you should be a miserable fuck and go and get him some.
I wondered if he's actually trolling his own audience, because this was piss poor. This was a piss poor argument, and there was a good argument he could have made, a reasonable argument that people go, yes, that is the spirit of Christmas. Just putting aside the bullshit, being nice to people.
Yeah,
but no, he had to go mental.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he didn't even do it very well.
No.
I mean, David Icke's mental, but he produces 500-page book full of his mentalism at least, not this tissue of twatterel.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you must have the richest butter, the thickest cream, the nicest wines, the biggest food, the nicest hams. It's like, and then eat it all with your friends. Cheers, mate. Well done. There's the spirit of Christmas right there. Meanwhile, who wants to have a feast? That's the last words. Who wants to have a feast? It's like, right, good work. Not go. Let's all go down the soup kitchen. Let's not help out the homeless person freezing in the snow outside. No. Let's just get the miserable fuck in the car who's got any kind of grain of awareness of the west of the world. Let's beat the shit out of him mentally with some hoodoo voodoo nonsense, and then lead him back into the group, because we can't have anyone escape the group. It's for the greater good. The greater good.
Let's go.
No. It's for Kirk's good.
Yeah.
There's no question even the greater good is for Kirk's good, because he likes hot chocolate.
Yeah. He likes hot chocolate, that twat. And the thing is, it's like, it was one of those things. It was like Scientology. It was that moment of kind of like, once he got his brother-in-law on side, who basically was just agreeing with Kirk Cameron. He was just there to agree. Basically, there was that bit when they walked through the door, and there's those 3 obvious bright halogen lights behind him, and which have just miraculously just appeared out of nowhere. And Kirk's standing right beside him with a big halo around his head, and it's like, Kirk, is that what you really want, mate? You're basically saying, you're Jesus, and by the way, buy shit. And by the way, this guy who almost made it out of the compound, we've brought him back. Here he is. He almost made it out of the compound. He almost started thinking for himself, but no, we convinced him with a rock, a tree, and some bollocks about nailing fucking Santa Claus up. We've sorted it all out.
Was there a bit where Eric Clapton was in the car and he had his eyes covered with his hands, and Kirk touched him?
Yeah.
And then he saw.
Yeah. Yes, but that was the bit with the manger. When it wasn't a manger, it was a stone. When it wasn't a stone, it was a cave. When it wasn't a cave, it was.
So he's healing him.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a cave. It was hidden.
It was hidden.
It was a bad cave.
Yeah.
Bad Santa cave.
Yeah, now this bloke is so up his own arse. It's untrue.
He was so up his own arse, he almost met Willie the fucking talking turtle from the fucking panto from earlier.
Duck and cover.
Got a back entrance for me, Willie. That's what the fucking guy said with the fucking turtle.
What, I've got a back entrance for me, Wheelie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, kids. Don't worry.
Oh, shit.
Well, the actor's face is rippling with the sharp intake of breath from 200 people.
Yeah.
As the air was being sucked off the stage.
It's like almost the windows kind of imploded. The whole wall just came in.
You know, it's bad when we turn around and go, "Oh dear, that's a bit deep, isn't it?"
Well, that's because our audience isn't supposed to be a bunch of 7-year-olds. If we were doing Black Dog Podcast, took the explicit off and then put it out there with a fucking nice little CBeebies kind of logo on it and went, happy times with your friends Lee, Darren, Jim and Elton, made us look like the fucking Wiggles, and then carried on talking.
April Fools.
Yeah. Mummy, he's a clam-wrecking turd bastard. Why?
Mummy, what's that man doing to Sarah Jane?
Exactly. Mummy, what is a cunt? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. I was absolutely apoplectic by the end of it. I was literally frothing at the mouth by that fucking dance routine. Seriously. Yeah. And that
I'm learning it for the shindig.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I've got a select few others to join in with me.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of...
Not religious dancers who look like 50-year-old mums trying to twerk with their legs split apart over a tripod camera again, are they?
No, I've just got a couple of, dead-eyed individuals who stand there moving to some sort of beat.
Right.
Religious dancers, yeah.
Yeah, religious dancers, yeah. Nice. Right. Well, I'm sure we're going to get covered on the rest of the feedback, so maybe we should get on with that now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now put your hands up, here online, doing real fine. We're doing our podcasting. It's called Black Dog, it's not like a joke. Is anyone there listening? What do you think of our show? Let us know by MP3 or email. Just get it to us, it ain't no fuss. We'll even read your Twitter rings. Cause if you like us or you hate us, send some feedback in. Gotta geek and punch and put some feedback in. If you think my voice is sexy, put some feedback in. Man, we really like it if you put some feedback in.
Right, okay, so it's feedback time, and unsurprisingly, we got a lot of feedback on this one. So we're going to just plough through them. Thank you, everyone who sent in feedback, and apologies if we don't have enough time to kind of address all of it. But as we said at the beginning, we did an intro, and script sandwich, and shitty superheroes, and now we're like 2 hours behind schedule. So At the moment, you're either going to hear snoring or us addressing your feedback. So we're going to try as best we can.
Snoring's looking good.
Yeah. It's going to be like medication time at the old people's home. This place. Anyway, so right.
Can I want up the bum, please?
Sorry, Mr. Cameron. You'll have to stand back and just take your turn. Don't care how many times you tell me Jesus is in swaddling and burial.
Take a run up. Take a run up.
Burial cinnamon. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Or are you doing? Are you turning up for a panto? Anyway, right. So our first piece of feedback is from Mr. Richard Tingley, and he sends in feedback going, "It's Christmas." Oh. Hello, Black Doggers. It's nearly Christmas, so I've sent the children up the chimney to give them a good clean. I say chimney, we don't actually have one, so they're locked in a cupboard with a bag of coal. It's pretty much the same thing. You may have noticed that I don't actually really review films, I just try and describe what I've watched in a humorous manner and sprinkle in my opinions here and there. That's why I only really write in after bad films. It's easier for me to do this after watching a truly terrible film. I can't do serious reviews. I've tried. It sounds pretentious, clumsy and smug, so I stay away. I think to really do a decent job of talking about something intelligently, you have to understand what it is you're talking about, or at least have a basic idea. This is one of my big failings as an artist. All I can do is skim off the top and present it as best I can. But the thing here is, I'm aware of that failing within myself. I understand my limits, and yes, I tried to push myself, as one must. But overall, I stick to what I know and mine those ideas as much as I can. Notice the use of the phrase "one must," pretentious, clumsy, smug. This is what made me so angry about Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. It was all of those things. Kirk speaks with an air of a man who knows exactly what he's talking about, but actually understands nothing. It's worse than that, though. He takes what he thinks he knows and turns and phrases and to sound like fact, and it doesn't, and it's not done in a charmingly naive way either. I can forgive that. I can forgive that. It's calculated. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's willful ignorance, and worse, it's deceitful and goes against what I think all Christmas is about. I'm not a religious man. I've gone through too much crap to ever believe there is a benevolent spirit watching over me, but I understand that the need for religion in people's lives. It can give people comfort, provide answers and guidance, and if that's your bag, more power to you. I don't think to enjoy Christmas on a spiritual or religious level, you have to prove that everything is connected with Christmas, and say that it's based on true facts that you find in the Bible. In fact, it doesn't actually matter where it comes from or how it started. It's about spending time with people you love. That's it. I could be wrong, of course, but you'd need to speak to Kirk Cameron about that. He has all the answers, apparently. On a more basic level, he's a terrible actor. All of the actors were awful and annoying. There was no plot, no point, no dramatic tension, no reason for this film to exist other than to preach its warped dogma at you. Merry Christmas, Richard Tingley. P.S. Also, put me right off of drinking hot chocolate. Curse upon you, pagans! Well, thank you very much for that, sir. I hope you let your kids out of the cupboard soon.
And I think you can write serious reviews. That was cracking. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've just managed to cram what I just took an hour and a half, sorry. What we just took an hour and sort of 30 to say, basically. I mean, yeah, again, if religion's your thing and, it helps you out, then that's perfectly fine. But don't talk bollocks at me and then expect me to nod. That's pretty much it, really.
Don't make it up.
Yeah.
If you're, I mean, Kirk Cameron, I have the impression, thinks he's presenting some sort of ministry here. But the fact is, he is theologically inept. He's misrepresenting his own faith. And as Richard says, having thought about it, to go the places he does, it has to be willful, and it is deceitful. Yeah. And it is to reflect everything back on him, which really, really wasn't the teaching of Jesus, which was think of other people for a change, basically. Yeah.
Instead of being standing there like a gurning twonk.
Yeah. Sin of pride, anybody?
Yeah. Anyone? Oh, well, there you go. Well, thank you very much for that, Richard, and do let your kids out of the coal scuttle. It's always a good idea, because I'll tell you what, after you've leave them in there too long, they'll eventually trudge a load of shit through your carpet, and you'll have to clear that up as well. Right, Merry Christmas, sir. Anyway, let's move on. Jim, who do you have next?
Next, we have an old friend of the cast, Mr. Haloman. Sorry, Mr. Haloman Lamont.
Ah, Bob Haloman Lamont, the archivist. And what does he have to say?
He writes subject line, get him, Mr. Jim.
Okay, there you go.
Anyhow, he writes, so it's going to be like that then, is it, Metcalf? Listen, I know 2006 has been a tire fire of a year, but just because it's been shite all the way, that doesn't give you the right to pour petrol on it. Calm. I'm calm now. Sorry, but this film really got to me. Sorry I haven't been able to feed back for a while, but life has really hammered me hard. Not being able to have much time to spend in the archives as I'd like. But hopefully, from the new year, I'll be able to feed back more. So, in typical fashion, the Black Dog podcast has decided to celebrate an anniversary covering one of the most awful films to put to cunting celluloid. Why? Why, Ambassador Metcalf? You are spoiling us.
That's what I do. Just part of the service.
Now, up until recently, I'd been able to avoid both seeing and having anything to do with this fucking film. Thanks a bunch, Black Dog. I even had the bliss of not knowing who the hell Kirk Cameron is. So this film was quite a revelation for me. But first, let me get something out the way. I'm not a particularly religious man, but I don't mind people who are. My philosophy is you do your thing and I'll do mine, and we'll just leave each other alone. But I have to say, this is the first thing I have ever truly found to be insulting, though I'm sure we've all teased and complained about this of other films. I'm not going to go through all of this film, why all of this film is false, because quite frankly, I don't want any more rage blackouts. Also, I don't really give this film much more thought. But here are some of my highlights, and I use the term loosely, of this watch-through. 1. This isn't a film. It's a trip to fucking Sunday school. A lecture telling people how wrong they are and how they are celebrating Christmas wrong. Firstly, don't tell me how to celebrate Christmas. Secondly, why do you make this film? It's basically a lecture telling people what they should be doing. Hello, have you met the human race? We generally hate being told what to do and will do the complete and utter opposite when told. 2, the production of this film was awful. The camera work was awful, and don't get me started on the fucking acting. I mean, for Christ's sake, at one point, 2 of the characters actually hid their mouths behind cups of hot chocolate, all of which were fucking empty, by the way. And then they had lines badly dubbed on. Why did you do that? Why the fuck did you do that? There was absolutely no reason. 3, the characters are all fucking annoying. The black guy and the bald guy with glasses annoyed the shit out of me. They just wouldn't stop talking. And all they talked about was really weird and random shit.
Yep.
That's nothing compared to the main man himself. You know what, you half-wit? Not everything about Christmas has to do with the Christian faith. All your leaps of logic, ha, are fucking astounding. Plus, stop trying to peer pressure your friend into celebrating Christmas if he doesn't want to. I know we tease Lee for being a bit of a Grinch around this time of year, but that is mostly in fun. I might not agree with him, but I will defend to the end his right to say that Christmas sucks balls and he hates it. Plus, he raises a good point about what my money could be used for, other than Christmas, and is just shot down in a very un-Christian-like manner. For I'm not even going to get started on the inaccuracies of the facts he is telling us. The reason I'm not going to do this is not only does the Black Dog have its own resident Christmas expert, but also sure a lot of feedbackers who have been through this already. All my thoughts throughout the entirety of this film was somewhere Jim is spinning in his chair.
Nice.
Anyway, I'll leave it there, lads, as I really don't want to spend too much time on this film. I would, however, like to congratulate you on reaching 300 podcasts.
Thank you.
The cast has become a regular listener for a lot of people, myself included. You guys never fail to brighten my mood when I'm feeling down or upset. The cast means a lot to us listeners, and I, for one, would just like to let you know about how much we appreciate you guys. The cast has come a long way from the beginning when it was just 2 old blokes, sorry guys, couldn't resist, talking bollocks about movies, to a thriving community where people are free to express their points of view. Long live the Black Dog, and long may it run. Cue Darren's cry of, please God, no. All that remains for me to say is Merry Christmas, boys, to both of you and your families, and definitely have a Happy New Year. Let's face it, that's not going to be difficult after the year we've all had. Speak to you soon. Bob Haleman Lamont, official archivist for the Black Dog podcast. P.S. Interesting fact. The first truly awful film the Black Dog covered was the original Clash of the Titans. Episode title, Clunch of the Tight Ones. But that was quickly dethroned by House of the Dead. Episode titled, Shed of the Dead.
Yes. Thank you very much. That was good. And a little extra tip on the top of that is that, House of the Dead was our first ever pubcast, which featured not 1, but 2, but 3 guest hosts.
Was it House of the Dead?
Mm.
I thought, was it Clash of the Titans?
Clash of the Titans was, but it was kind of, this was the one where we actually sat in a pub with Foxy, Keith Butler, and Laura. And basically just screamed in a pub while people wandered past looking at us kind of bizarre. Because we didn't even know if our microphones would pick up on her phone.
Yeah, they did.
They did, yes. Anyway, thank you very much for that, Bob. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for listening, and thank you for taking part. And yeah, just thanks. That's all I can say. And I hope that whatever's beating you down gets better, because, as you say, fucking knows we all deserve it. So, thank you very much for that, sir. Like I say, not much I don't think we can add to that, really. Is there really? So, let's move on. And do have a very Merry Christmas, sir. Take care, and we'll speak to you next year. Right, so, Darren.
Yes.
To you, sir. Here is your feedback to read out in big fucking fat type.
From all the way across the other side of the room.
Size of a dragon.
Lovely. Okay, so this is from Greg Madden.
Yeah, Bones.
Oh, Bones. And he writes, Greetings, Darren, Lee, Jim, Elton, and the Dark One, Mr. Owl. This week we look at...
Nice.
There we go. Right in there. This week we look at a stunning work of art with masterful acting. Yes, I'm looking at your party goer number 3, Saving Christmas. Well, what can I say about this great piece of art? I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. What the hell, man? I thought I was supposed to watch the movie, watch a movie, not people trying to sell their religion. Well, I know the feedbackers. Well, I know the feedbackers through all of your. Well, I know the feedbackers through all of you for a spin by not hating Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, but making us watch this show it was just a bit of a low blow. Why? I give up. I guess my iced tea is some vague way related to the Bible and the birth of Christ. Well, I'm going to wrap this up before I really go off on this piece of shit. So, from the medical bay of the USS Black Dog, I wish you all the best. And Lee, if I never say a bad movie is funny or good again, will you never make me watch a movie like this one? Cheers, Greg Bones Madam.
Thank you very much for that, Greg. I can't promise that. I mean, it's on the titles. We got rose tinted specs and shit cover goggles.
Yep.
Yin, yang, matter, antimatter. I'm sorry. You can't have one without the other. And let's be honest, when we come back in 2017, after the year review, we've got Selfish Medcalf month. So you're going to have some good ones.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
And
gravy.
And
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then after that, maybe not so much Selfish Medcalf month. Anyway, thank you very much for that, Greg. Have a happy Christmas, and we'll speak to you next year. Right, so, Elton,
Right.
who do you have next?
I have Murray, the Pie Man Christensen.
Purry the My Man?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. The tiredness is falling on me already.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're all starting to really, really struggle.
Yeah,
but we must get through this. Got to get through this.
Here we go.
Daniel
Right.
Bedellfield.
Subject is, perhaps Christmas isn't worth saving. Hi, guys. First, congratulations on 300 episodes. That is
Thank you.
Many hours of quality entertainment there. Moving away from quality entertainment, Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. Well, that was a wee bit preachy, eh? I used to be more angry atheist, ranting about sky fairies and the like. As I've grown older, I've mellowed somewhat, partly because I give less of a damn overall, and partly because, thanks to a few overly religious and preachy primary school teachers, my wife has taken over that role. This film is proof of this. 10 years ago, I would have been spitting blood as Kirk Cameron decided to claim that the non-Christian bits of the Christmas as theirs. I mean, seriously, God invented the winter solstice? As we say up here, nah, away with your bowl bag. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. It's
now
it's
I just
Scottish.
find it... Sorry. Now I just find it laughable. If I was stuck at an irritatingly twee Christmas party with him, I could now smile and nod and only occasionally pour rum into my mug of non-existent hot chocolate. Really, Kurt? That's fascinating. Oh, run. Oh, that's just my aftershave. Now, for my first question is this. Has Jim exploded yet with the abuse Forlock gets at Kirk's hands? Yes, he has.
Yeah.
I look forward to his fact-checking because, strangely enough, I'm not willing to take Cameron on his word. Second question. Is this a film?
No.
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 It is basically Kirk harassing a guy who has hidden in his car from his awful family until he has the minor breakdown and attacks Santa. Third, what happened with Funky Shirt Friday? Oh God!
Oh, good Lord, no. Let's not discuss that.
No.
Fucking Funky Shirt Friday. What the fuck was that all about?
He continues. To me, this was the compelling plot point, and yet it got forgotten early on. I'm still feeling rather calm, so I won't mention the dance routine. Let us never mention it again. To clarify, this alleged film is utter shite. But it didn't make me angry. It smacks of the sort of thing fundamentalists think will make everyone suddenly convert. It is the insidious propaganda that bugs me more. I still resent watching it, but I don't feel my life has been made any less by seeing it. It literally had no impact whatsoever, which I'm sure will fill all the iffy groups who funded this waste of time with seasonal joy. So, to everyone, have an agreeable festive season, whatever your beliefs, and remember the true joys of Christmas, as Kirk says. When you see a native, think of brutal mass child murder. When you see a Christmas tree, think of crucifixion. And when you see Santa, think of an angry bloke who punches people where he can't win an argument. Yeah. Merry Christmas indeed. Keep up the good work. Murray, the Pie Man Christensen.
Thank you very much for that, Murray. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Good. And thank you for the kind words about 300. And, if you're going to... Santa loses an argument, so gets the arse and punches people in a pub.
And it's not a film.
Merry Christmas. And it's not a film. So, anyway, nice. So, we'll move on. Thank you very much for that, sir. And we'll hope to hear from you soon and hope you have a nice festive seasonal celebrational thing, whatever that turns out to be. Can't judge these days. There you go. And we'll move on to Gary Mr. Spock Madden. And he writes, on the third day of Sadvent, the black dog gave to me shit box under my tree. Here we go. Greetings, various and sundry elf worshippers, druidic Santas, pagan reindeers, black doggerel, and Mr. Owl in a pear tree. Thank you very much. Well, if you went and did it. You actually picked Kirk Cameron's Shatting on Christmas. I congratulate you for your single-minded, perhaps apocalyptic commitment to the spirit of Sadvent. I have to say, I struggled over whether or not I could actually watch this piece of shit. I mean, we've witnessed a lot of regrettable cinema on the Black Dog, but this is the first film I found which was actually offensive from the opening credits to the very last sodding line. I won't try and point out all the moronic misconceptions about the history and misreading of Christian doctrine Cameron shoehorns into his 80-minute self-aggrandizing sack of used prophylactics. Mr. Moon, the master of the Library of Dreams, surely has laid down a hot, hateful helping of truth on the origins of Christmas, Father Christmas himself, and on this dunderheaded star of this mess. And I believe the Black Dog has a reverend on staff who is infinitely more qualified to handle this film's dogmatic dumbassery. The only thing I can't pass up is Kirk saying, next they'll be telling us druids invented hot chocolate. No, Kirk. The Aztecs invented it, you dry-humping sack of shit. Deep breath, take one of those pills Bones gave me, Rage Monkey is calmed. Right, what I'd like to attack is the ugly message that forms the clumsy and ill-conceived subplot of this film. Firstly, there's Cameron linking materialism to godliness. Through this sham of a film, he tries to promote the idea that nothing is more holy than spending tons on mountains of gifts. And the more the better, because this honours Jesus. Of course, the problem is that if excess equals piousness, then by extension poverty equals sinfulness. Being impoverished, homeless and unemployed becomes moral judgment and licensed to see the less fortunate as less worthy, unclean or even subhuman. Good point. Even as a non-Christian, I know that this position shows Cameron's utter ignorance of the core of Christian values, namely charity. If we follow his lead, then we revert to the Victorian belief in social Darwinism and give the green light to institutional bias and racism that makes the rich richer and at the expense of the poor. And since we've touched on race, did anyone notice the nifty little racist trick that the animators pulled in the opening credits? Throughout, we see a Holy Family on their trek to the manger of Bethlehem being changed to suit what Cameron defines as the new unchristian Christmas. Mary goes from riding a donkey to riding a wagon, pulled by a donkey. The stables become Howard Johnson's, and finally the three white dudes representing the Magi are given moustaches and turbans. The implication here is that the Magi were really white, not Zoroastrian astrologers from Persia. Apparently, they came from suburban Crackertown, USA. You can add this to the Add this, that the speaking role given to the non-white in the film is a witless and worthless, a fat guy throwaway comic relief scene meant to be padding out the running time so that it can be an insult to the intelligence to meet the length requirements for a feature film. All I can say is this is the first film I've watched where I actually found it totally offensive. Not a scene or two, beginning to end offensive. It's a social experiment. As a social experiment, it does prove what happens when you let people vote. Brexit, Donald Trump, and Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. Please, in the name of everything good and holy, never, ever, ever, ever do Sadvent again. Live long and fuck Kirk Cameron and his pointy end of his Jesus tree. Gary, Mr. Spock, Madden. Thank you very much for that, sir. And he adds a little PS there. Sorry, I forgot to mention it in my previous feedback, but congratulations on the 300th episode, guys. You've got a great podcast, and every week I look forward to listening to all of you. In spite of the miles of ocean between us, you feel like a bunch of good friends who I can always count on for a laugh, good conversation, and pick me up when the week's been a bastard. Keep up the wonderful work, and who knows, maybe Bones and I will eventually make it across the pond to join in on one of your shindigs. Live long, and in all sincerity, prosper. Gary, Mr. Spock, Madden. Thank you very much for that, sir. Do you know what? There was more Christianity and goodwill in that bit there than there was the whole of Kirk Cameron's fucking screed.
I am very impressed with the feedback we're getting for this.
Isn't it?
They're doing a better job than we did.
Yeah, I know. Let's be honest. We were going to blow our stack one way or the other, and it's just a case of how. But that was brilliant. Thank you very much for that, sir. That was good feedback. And yeah, whenever you're over here, by all means, just give us a shout. We will sit in a pub and talk of things until one of us falls off a chair drunk. Anyway, thank you very much for that. Have a Merry Christmas, sir. Or whatever it is you celebrate at the festive season, I'm not going to presume. And over to you, Jim. Who do we have next?
We're sticking with the science quadrant of the Starship Black Dog. And going now to Dr. Scum.
Ah, Fred Lubno. Okay, and what does he have to say about this film? I bet he loves it.
Subject line, worst fucking film ever produced. Do the Uhura spin around the chair? I think I'm getting something, Captain.
Yeah. It's the
invention of Bluetooth.
Go on, Jim.
Anyhow, Dr. Fred writes, Hello, Black Dog crew. Okay, cards on the table. I am agnostic. As a scientist, I cannot confirm or deny the existence of God, or as some call him, the Great Sky Wizard.
Hello.
However, there is a lot of evidence for certain scientific theories, such as gravity or evolution. Through the years, I have heard the idiot known as Kirk Cameron talk about how evolution is not real, how it's only a theory. This douchebag came to this realization since there's no such thing as a crocoduck. Cameron clearly doesn't understand how evolution and natural selection works, and I would not expect him to. He's not a biologist or even a scientist. However, since he is ultra-religious, you would expect him to understand some base concepts of Christianity. He doesn't. And his film, Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas, clearly demonstrates this. Just finished this abortion of a movie, and here are some observations, rants, and ravings. Kirk Cameron, what a pompous, egotistical asshole. Produced by Cam Fam Studios. You asshole. Who is going to take hot chocolate away from the Christians? Actually, the Aztecs invented hot chocolate by 1400 AD. It wasn't a Christian snuggling up to the fire during a snowstorm, you fucknut. So Crazy Shirt Friday is what people are concerned about in the workforce.
Yeah,
not
of course.
Benefits,
Nope.
Paid time off when you have a child, healthcare, pay raises, equal pay for women. It's fucking Crazy Shirt Friday. Cameron tries to put a Christian religious spin on many symbols and ideas that have pre-Christian/pagan origins. This fucktard is pulling all this out of his ass. Wow, Kirk Cameron is creepy as fuck. How about putting mics on your actors so you can hear a bad dialogue? Then I start hearing what brother-in-law Christian is saying in the car, and in response, I turned the volume down anyway, particularly when creepy Cameron starts talking about the true origin of Christmas, the real truth the evil pagans don't want you to know about. Who the fuck is concerned that trees are not mentioned in the Bible? I'll tell you who. People with childlike minds who need some reassurance about a sentient, or in their case, semi-sentient entity in a universe that has not been constructed just for their petty existence. That's who. God did not set the planets on the path. It's the force of gravity relative to the mass of objects, you fucking insecure little shit. Just a reminder and update, this movie is about 39 and 8 seconds in, and Kirk is still fucking creepy. And who the fuck is equating Santa to Satan? Not agnostics and atheists, it's insecure, ignorant morons who are questioning their own faith and looking for a way to validate their role in reality, hoping they're not merely a carnivorous worm gnawing on the grand galactic shit pile in an uncaring universe. So Santa's origin, that he was a psychotic religious zealot who would kill those with opposing views? Ho, ho, ho. If creepy Kirk Cameron's brother-in-law was played by the Dr. Reverend Jim Moon of Hypnopobs, things would have been very different.
Oh, yes.
After one of Kirk's strange origin tales about Christmas, Jim would have bitch-slapped him and said, "Okay, Junior, listen up and wipe that creepy paedophile smile off your face, and I'll tell you the origin of these many symbols based on something you're not familiar with, things called facts." How many fucking endings does this piece of shit film have? Die, you cancerous sand flea. Look, the bottom line is I could make a film about the natural history of unicorns, and I could sound like an expert on the subject. It doesn't mean he's fucking real. What makes this film truly disgusting is it uses religious symbols to support their views of ultra-extreme Christianity, while at the same time plug commercialism and materialism over the holidays, a philosophy that Gelasius was completely opposed to. Here's an idea. Spend 20 minutes and watch A Charlie Brown Christmas. That cartoon has a better understanding of the true non-commercial meaning of Christmas, and that has a dog impersonating a fucking penguin.
Nice.
Yep. To conclude, Mac and Me and Santa Claus Conquers the Martians are Oscar-quality films compared to this bag of steaming vomit. Creepy Kirk Cameron should be ashamed of himself. The only possible thing this film does is that it would and should discuss everyone from the truest believer to the staunchest atheist. I hope this is the true bottom of the barrel, Black Dog. Otherwise, what's next? Pandemic 2 and 3? Ishtar? A Siberian gore flick? Happy holidays indeed. Fred, Dr. Scum, love no.
Oof, well, I mean, I can't confirm or deny where we'd go from here if we were going to go for another really, really bad one. What do you reckon?
What's that Turkish one called?
Oh, God, what? Project KOZ or something, whatever it's called.
Is it the one
Maybe
with the version of Spider-Man in it? Or
Turkish,
something?
or Turkish Spider-Man. Oh, this Turkish Star Wars.
Turkish Star Wars. Oh, we got to do that for when episode 8 comes out next year.
Oh, God, yeah.
This time next
Why am I
year.
saying, oh, God, yeah? Like, oh, man, we've really got to do that. No, we haven't.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, that's it. We got to find Turkish Star Wars by the time episode 8 comes out, and we've got to have reviewed it. That's our mission for 2017.
I think it's. I've seen some of the videos. I think it's the Nigerian movie industry. Some of the films they do there.
Oh, 2016.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
Those sort. I think we should definitely have at least one of those chucked into the.
God, I don't think we can even find
into
those
the
though,
mix.
because they get distributed by hand.
Do they?
I fucking love them.
Oh my word. Okay, well, anyway, thank you very much for that, Dr. Scum. Thank you very much indeed for all your feedback over the year. And yeah, don't worry, there's nowhere else we can go down at the moment. But trust me, now you've set us the challenge, we might well find something. So yeah, have a good Christmas or whatever festive season you celebrate, and we'll catch you next year. So, on to our next bit of feedback. And Darren, this one is for you. I'm just going to grab this again and stick it in the wonderful world of...
Put it into middle-age font.
I am going to put it in middle-age font. Hold on. I'm going to just open up Word. Open up blank document. Hit post. Look at that.
I don't want to see more than 3 words per page.
Don't worry, you won't. It's zoomed in at 210%. There you go.
Fire.
Can we get an autocue app?
I think we should do, shouldn't we?
Gradually speed it up.
Okay, so apologies.
So this is Yogi Dave Lefavre-Sell.
Indeed, and apologies to Yogi Dave if I read this out a bit crap, but I'm afraid fatigue has gotten to the eyes now, and they're just moving in 2 different directions. I'm like Marty Feldman at the moment.
You look like Rango, actually.
Thank you. Cheers.
Google it.
But anyway, getting back to this, and Dave writes, Hello, Black Dog. Well, it's been quite a year, hasn't it? And this movie has finally caused my cynicism to collapse under its own mass, so that now I have an itty-bitty black hole where my heart should be. Imagine that there have been several statements to the effect of not wanting to cause offence, but I, for one, couldn't give a squirt of hangover piss for anyone's hurt feelings. See above regarding itty-bitty black hole. So, on to this week's movie. Of course, this is only a movie in the loosest sense. It is, more accurately, a rambling, ranting, self-published pamphlet from the hand of delusional narcissist. To critique the movie in a way is more than critique the movie in any way is more than it deserves. It is so bad that it should be easier to laugh at, but the tone is so fucking sanctimonious that I am more inclined to rage. Tissue paper thin historic and symbolic connections could easily be bettered by a drunken gibbon dry humping a keyboard, and I can only hope that this movie hasn't made Jim put a gun in his mouth or wand of fire or eldritch symbol or whatever else. Surely there has never been a film that needed so much padding. It goes right past funny, roars through embarrassing, and crashes right into depressing in a massive ball of burning shit. How is it even possible to be holier than thou and cynical at the same time? Gah, I could fucking kick a puppy. 20 minutes of deep breathing later. Okay, I was going to attack Kirk's argument, but I'm not sure it would be healthy. So instead, let's discuss how we collectively recover from this. I intend to watch Alistair Sims' 1951 Scrooge. That never fails to rehydrate my heart. Well, I wish you all a happy holidays. Fuck you, Kirk, and a joyful 2017. Yogi Dave.
Thank you very much for that, Yogi Dave. Thank you for your feedback, sir, and thank you for your feedback throughout the year, actually.
Yes.
And yeah, it's best not to just challenge Kirk on this. Just accept that he's a divwit and just move on, really. Oh dear, it will get better. Like I say, Selfish Metcalf season is just around the corner. Just
Thank
better.
the maker.
Thank the maker. It's actually good. There's actually some good films in there. Anyway, so thank you very much for that, sir. Good feedback, and the whole thing was to get someone to have an itty bitty black hole coal heart. So mission accomplished. I think we can wrap it up here, guys.
Well, if you can.
That's it. Job's a good one.
Can we please?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's your feedback done. So let's move on to the next bit of feedback. Thank you again, David. And Elton, who do you have?
I have Doreen or Keldor.
Okay, Keldor the Mighty. And what does she think of this film?
The subject is the film that's trying to be a novel. Hi, Black Doggers. Happy 300.
Thank you.
This is sure breaking those stereotypes, isn't it? Not. People already have had enough of this crazy, of the crazy people sermonizing at them, especially the mad guys with their Bibles on the high street. Hey, Mr. Christian. Kirk Christian. What was Kirk? No, it's Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron.
Yeah, Kirk Cameron.
It says, hey, Mr. Christian, there's a hell of a lot of stuff that's not in the Bible, including Christmas trees. Mm-hmm. Christian remembers Jesus. I think it's supposed to be Cameron. Cameron remembers Jesus lived in his life as a Jew. Therefore, there wouldn't be Christmas trees in the New Testament written about his life. The Christian remembers. The Christian religions came into being because of Jesus Christ's life, not before. This could have been. This could have been a reasonable radio play. It still would not have had only a limited appeal, but at least it would have been playing to its strengths. Jim, I hope Cameron listened to your history of Santa Claus multi-part Christmas specials last year. Okay, deep breath. It's time for my big admission. I quite like this.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Am I still on?
Good job of having got a mouthful of tea.
Would you like to get a mouthful of tea?
No,
I can do it again if you want.
No, let's do script sandwich again.
Not really as a blockbuster feature, but for the philosophical discussion. I doubt it would have interested me or converted me if I wasn't already in its mindset. Oh no, it didn't. The music and the family flash mob at the end were utterly awful. Just when I was wondering why it got its worst film label, I refused to label it the worst when Mac and Me exists.
Yeah.
But those final scenes are an abomination that shouldn't be allowed to exist. How do I forget? Amen. Doreen, a.k.a. Keldor. P.S. I brought my Santa sack. I'm away to the bunker.
I think we can have special dispensation on the grounds of diminished responsibility or something, can't we? Busting... Oh, I don't know. I don't think you can like this
I
film.
get where she's coming from.
Really?
On I quite like it from the discussion point.
Okay.
Because you get to just talk about it.
Well, as Darren says, the first 20 minutes before he starts his argument, what he's saying is fairly innocent. We're saying people are very down in Christmas, and we shouldn't be, and we should remember the real meaning of Christmas. So when he gets to his argument, you're going, what the hell are you talking about? And how have you turned this around to be all about you and spending money and buying you hot chocolate, Kirk?
What you talking about, Cameron?
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know. I think she might actually be going to the bunker this time. I mean, I can't show any mercy on this one. As much as I like to, but no.
Are you insisting?
I think I must insist. I must. It's just a terrible film. It's a terrible film with terrible people in it being terrible on so many different levels. Just, no. No, to the bunker with you. You shall spend Christmas in the bunker. Anyway, no, thank you very much for that, Doreen. Thank you very much indeed. Good feedback. And so to my last bit of written feedback, which is happy Dave Renane. I bet he's really happy today. I bet he is. I bet he's right on the money.
Yeah,
I bet he is. So, here we go. David Renane, he writes, "Oh, come let us ignore him," or "Oh, come let us ignore him," or "Smirk Cameron Scathing Christmas," or "One dick, one cup, both hollow and empty on the inside," or "There is no hot chocolate, just fucking Kool-Aid." Hello, chaps. Congratulations on reaching the much-awaited episode 300. I must say I've really enjoyed these years of listening to the Black Dog, both for you guys and all the other feedbackers. Long may it continue. Thank you very much. It seems like only yesterday you were reviewing the preachy, pretentious, self-important, quasi-mythical wankfest that was Avatar. So, no real change there then. Back then I suggested feedback in the form of interpretive dance, for which the film 300 might have been an epic freeform tribute to leather, sand and sandals, and would have made Michael Cornett very happy. But now, with Sadvent saving Christmas, it would have probably turned out to be the audience flicking V signs at you to the tune of Yakety Sax. Is this the first fuck you-mentary that we've ever done on Black Dog? Many thanks to Jim for re-raising the issue of Macamee's budget last week. That 13 million has been bugging me too. That's 3 million more than E.T. itself. There has to be some kind of tax dodge or fraud there. Doing a quick bit of Google foo, that's $26 million by today's money, allowing for inflation. Similarly, Santa and the Sorcerman's film, 200,000 equates to 2.6 million in modern money. So Saving Christmas is comparatively cheap, cheapest of the Sadvent films, and it shows. But you know what? Maybe something is broken on the inside, but I just don't care anymore. Full disclosure, I was raised a Catholic, and while I'm very much lapsed, like lift crashing down a coal mine on fire lapsed, I long ago passed the point where theology thrown at me just bounces off. Similarly, being a New Zealander, anything with a line about Lord of the Ringsy immediately leaves me cold, though they may revoke my passport if I'm overly critical about it. And while I saw some of the growing pains as a kid, I've no real frame of reference as to who Cameron is as an evangelist. And it's not a film for us. All he seems to be doing here is preaching to the choir, quite literally, that they should just chill out a bit over the holidays. And he's not even doing it particularly well. I'll leave it to Jim and the orgs to take him down on the details, but it all seems to boil down to his interpretations on signs and portents. Hell, I'm not going to argue with the voices in his head. If that's how you want to rationalise having a tree in your house, fine, go for it. Complaining that Kirk is creepy or that there is religious content is a bit like bitching about there's spaceships in Star Wars, or that it does what it says on the tin, and I wouldn't be watching it if it wasn't for Black Dog Dare. I'm sure he has beliefs and teachings that would really get my dander up, but he just doesn't seem to be on show here. Granted, there are some points where he seems to be making a lot of things up on the fly, and he acts like a bit of a psychopath. His rewiring of Christians' belief system during a crisis of faith seems a bit culty. This is not the film to be referencing Jim Jones's Kool-Aid either. But in a world where people are still committing atrocities in the name of faith, Kirk can tell your kids, family and friends whatever stories you like. Stories, Kirk. Your words, not mine. Some quick thoughts, though. Was I the only one hearing Darren's grumpy old sod music when Christian first appeared? Dum, 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 anyway, all he needed was some annoying hipsters. Oh, and there they are. Cameron wisely hired a comic relief, and he seems far less sane or funny than he actually is. While he's whiter than the sheet washing day, while it was whiter than the sheet washing day at the Clan Clubhouse, I found his dance routine less annoying than the one in Mac and Me. No, the one in Mac and Me was like 3 minutes long and had a kid dressed up as a teddy bear. This was 10 minutes long and had someone's mother trying to do split crotch shots up on a tripod. At least they tried to work it into the story, and they weren't even trying to sell me burgers. I'd much rather sell me burgers than that kebab that was on display. And there was Santa that could take on some Martians, and at least this film had the decency to package most of its mind-numbing padding into the last 30 minutes. So, for your fast-forward convenience, you can choose to be a hero or the fool. Yeah, Kirk, enough said. All up for nil point from me, but not the most negative numbers this time. I look forward to more Black Dog in the new year, without the attempts to sway me into belligerent ideology or intolerantly held views. Selfish Medcalf month it is then. And happy holidays. TTFN, non-plus Dave. Thank you very much for that, Dave. And happy holidays to yourself, sir. And thank you. Thank you for your feedback and your support over the year. That's been great. Thank you. Right. So, a non-plussed. That's the first non-plussed I think we've had. So, well done you. And now it's on to our last bit of written feedback, and that is, Jim?
It is from another regular, another long time listener, Mr. Matt Jones.
Yes, Danger Matt, return after Mac. And also he's...
Mom.
Yeah, Shamal. And also, it turns out, he has been here since episode 9.
Yes.
God, I can't believe that. That's... Yeah, anyway, go on. I think that deserves some kind of record. Anyway, carry on, sir.
Matt writes, hello again, gents. Well, I'm back again. Turn up the Mac. Come on. Sorry. Pavlovian response.
Yeah, go on.
Matt writes, I just couldn't resist taking a look at one of the lowest scored films ever to grace IMDb to celebrate the big 300th episode. And my, what a film it is. A more appropriate response would be, actually, what the Jesus titty fucking Christ was that?
Nice.
Saving Christmas is fucking terrible cack. They don't just come across as total propaganda, but its worst crime is not the fact that it's promoting religion, but it's pushing the views of one man and his gigantic ego, Kirk fucking Cameron. Cameron comes across as a complete dick right from the start with his 5-minute inane speech about how he loves the festive season. We're all living our stories. Oh, fuck off, Kirk. From there, it just gets horribler and horribler. Darren Duane should take some of the blame as he both directed this excuse for a film and stars as Kirk Kirk's brother-in-law, a boring and tedious character if I've ever seen one. He has several long scenes while sat in a car talking to Kurt, which actually made me want to kill myself. Here, Kirk explained that the symbols of Christians that we all know and somehow relate back to Jesus and the Bible, except these links to the ancient texts are tenuous at best. Christmas trees represent Christ hanging on a cross, do they? Bollocks. I'm sure our very own Mr. Moon, who actually does his research, will have plenty to say about that. The cutaways to Cameron's delusions are filmed and scored dramatically as if they're amazing revelations, when they're just utter shite.
Yep.
I could go on listing bullshit examples of his so-called theory, but I won't. Oh, except for one where if you lie on the floor and the presents in the tree resemble the cityscape of Jerusalem, what the actual fuck? Piss off, Kirk, you self-righteous prick. This movie is offensive to both atheists and Christians alike, with Cameron afflicting upon us his made-up nonsense about how everything relates to Christianity. I could make it a film relating everything back to the plight of the Asian mongoose. I wrote enough bollocks, but I won't. It's a shit idea, and no one will want to see it.
Well, I don't know at this point.
Seriously, why did the Liberty University, a Christian organisation, fund this film where it's so full of tangents that don't even make sense if you do believe in the good book? I wasn't surprised it only cost $500,000. It was filmed in one house and driveway with the occasional studio cutaway, and everyone appears to be either related to Cameron or the useless director. Not only that, but the alleged filmmakers have to drag out the mercifully short running time by adding a weird sketch about people talking down their coffee mugs in the middle and a ridiculous white-as-fuck rap number at the end. Fuck you, Kirk, you cockwomble. This film made me lose the film will to live several times, and in the space of 70 minutes, without credits, that is some feat. Also, according to IMDb, it's a comedy. You fucking what? The only funny thing about it is that it ever got made. I'm going to say it. This is the biggest pile of shit I've ever watched. Every copy, and in fact all memory of it, should be removed from God's green earth.
Yep.
Saving Christmas. Royally fucking up Christmas, all like.
Yep.
Well done, guys. You finally done it. You picked the worst film of all time. Merry fucking Christmas.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, rant over. I'm sure you'll have many more to come.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, huge congratulations once again on reaching your 3rd century, chaps. You're a great bunch of guys, even that Mr. Owl to add.
Nice.
Here's to the next 300. Until next year, then, this is Danger Matt signing off.
Danger Matt. Well, thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you for the good feedback and the kind words about episode 300 and the cast in general. Really appreciated. And thank you for listening for as long as you have. I think you should be in a fucking institution by now at this point after that many episodes. Bloody hell. Right. Well, thank you very much again. And it's time to move on. So, that's the end of our written feedback. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in feedback by letter, by email. And now it's time to move on to our MP3s. We only have 2 MP3s this week, and one of them isn't from the Orgs. I would just say before we go on that with the Orgs, I was speaking to him on Twitter, Reverend Org, and he had bowed out of this thing because he knew it would make him too cross. And his exact line, as I was describing the film to him on Twitter, as it was happening, was that Kirk Cameron is to theology what Reverend Org is to ballroom dancing. So I think that just about sums it up, and that Kirk should stop smoking pine needles. So there you go. That's some useful information to know. So that would have been his standpoint on the whole thing. So our first MP3 feedback is from Doug, a.k.a. Duck Cartwright, and I'm presuming Louise. And let's hear what they say about Saving Christmas.
Hi, everyone.
Ho, ho, ho.
Well, I'm going to start on the basis that my better half has got a lot more to say about this film than I do.
And I'm rocking back and forward at the moment in absolute rage.
In my views, this was a complete waste of fucking time for me. Currently sat on a sofa wishing I'd gouged my eyes out with a spoon right now. And, well, it's just an hour and 20 minutes I'll never get back, and I could have easily been doing something more productive with my evening. So, a big pot of shit from me. Doug?
I really enjoyed it. I think I've been converted. I now know the true meaning of Christmas is that Christmas trees are crucifixes, and we need to pin people to them as quickly as we can. We need to realise that there is a war on Christmas, and that every token black person you invite into your house is a DJ stroke rapper and shouts hallelujah and amen at every opportunity. Why film the majority of a film inside? I mean, I know Phone Booth did it well-ish, if you didn't like it, whatever, but why film a whole fucking film inside a car with two of the most boring, dull people in the fucking world driving the story forward?
There's no, I think that there was no flow.
Well, to be fair, there's no charisma between the two of them. They're charisma vacuums. Christian, what a name to give to someone who is starting to hate Christmas. Oh no, let's call him Christian. Bit on the fucking nose, isn't it? And why put... In the car, I thought he was going to try and kill himself with the fumes from the exhaust. And I was praying, they were good at praying, they were hoping that he was going to do that to Kirk Cameron as well. Fucking hell. Honestly, I can't get over this film. Brilliant. I know. We'll use a clever anagram. Santa is Satan. Satan is Santa. God is dog. Fucking what's your point? Honestly, what's your point? The intro had the best bit of acting in it. You sit in front of the fucking fireplace drinking the imaginary hot chocolate. That's the best bit of acting in the whole film. It was golf clap. Definite golf clap. Yeah. The Santa looked a bit sketchy. He looked like he might have been having a bit of fun with some of those kids a bit inappropriately. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's just bad. Really bad. The dance scene, I was craving the Mac and Me McDonald's dance scene. We all wanted Ronald McDonald to show up and a fucking kid in a teddy bear outfit. That was just awful. Although there is one line that's going to stick with me forever. Do you know what it is, people?
Go on.
What have you got in mind, Big Papa? Me and Lou had the same idea. We all know what he had in mind. Anal. There is no way it wasn't. No way it wasn't anal. It took guys, honestly, really, really poor. I'm so glad Sadvent's over. Is Sadvent over? Is there a dessert course? Because this was the main. This is a dog vomit re-eating smeared with poo kind of main course.
Yes, it is.
So I'm dreading what dessert might be. We're gonna watch Mac and Me and Santa Claus Conquers the Martians again, just for the hell, because they were much better, to be fair. But I don't know what else. I had loads to say. I'm rocking back and forth, but I'm not allowed to do it. I've been told I'm not allowed. I've got to stick to the film.
Stick to the film.
Stick to the film. So anyway, thanks very much, guys. I thanked you again. I don't know why I thanked you. I really don't. But again, rocking back and forward. Lou's trying to gouge your own eyes out. I'm trying to imagine not ever seeing this film.
Okay.
Have a good Christmas.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, you know what? That bit, I completely forgot about the what are you thinking, Big Papa? That bit.
Oh, God, yeah.
And you know what? Funny enough, I really wish it wasn't like fucking 1:15 in the morning, because if Carol was still here, because she sometimes sits downstairs while we're recording, if she was sitting there, she'd back up the fact that both of us looked at each other when she went, what are you thinking, Big Papa? And we both went, anal. So, yeah. So you weren't the only ones, guys, thinking of that. It was just like, oh, trying something new for Christmas, are we? God. Yeah. Christian does anal. That would have been a much more interesting film. Seriously. That would have been the spirit of Christmas. Yeah, because as Kirk Cameron would probably have said, because that would symbolise stuffing the turkey.
Yeah. Good excuse for the slow-mo.
Yeah, exactly. That would be stuffing the turkey, and that would be like, Jesus that would be like extracting Jesus from his tomb after he was resurrected.
I think Jesus would have still gone for crucifixion somehow.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in
Robin's
both cases, see, I'm doing Kirk Cameron's job now. In both cases, crucifixion and anal, you feel a bit of a prick.
And you get nailed in both.
Yeah. And there's a bit of wood involved. See, I can do this. Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. They make our fucking Christmas in the art. Never mind. Anyway, let's move on. Thank you very much for that, guys. Thank you for the feedback. Don't worry, there is no dessert course on Sadvent. If we'd got there a little bit earlier,
could we have a depriester?
Depesuary?
I don't know.
Yeah, Saduary.
Panini.
Panini. It's a sticker album. Anyway,
Forbidduary.
Oh God, yeah, that's a good one.
Forbidduary.
Yeah.
Easter Bunny boiler.
Actually, we could have Forbestiary.
How about fuckuary?
Fuckuary.
Maybe have a not a film month.
Not a film month. Yeah, that's it. How about musical?
I nominate the classic 80s video diary in bed with Chris Needham.
Maybe we should have musical interlude month. Anything that has a musical interlude. So anyway, yeah. So let's move on. Thank you very much for that, guys. Hope you have a good Christmas, and we'll catch you in the new year. And trust me, there's no Sadvent follow on, at least not yet. Mwahaha. Mwahaha. So, now it's on to our last bit of feedback. Our last bit of feedback is our man in Baltimore, the belly stapler, Leopold von Gruppenhans, the Michael Cornett. And he has seen this film, and I get a sense that he wasn't best pleased.
Evening, Black Doggers. This is Mike Cornett, the belly stapler, being kind of serious tonight. Fuck Saving Christmas in the ear. This is such a bad movie. And I'm sure other people have discussed this. You know how Kirk Cameron fundamentally misquotes and misrepresents the biblical story of Jesus' birth. That Joseph and Mary were not hiding from soldiers. The soldiers were sent after, like, according to some authorities, 2 years after Jesus' birth. He misrepresents the frankincense and myrrh. You know, he talks about, they were in a cave, and there's, I don't think, any real reason to believe they were in a cave. You know, the whole St. Nicholas bullshit is legendary. They think maybe St. Nicholas never even existed. All this stuff. I mean, it's just all this. But this is such a work of overweening arrogance and pride, because you get the sense that Cameron really does believe all the stuff that he's saying, but it's wrong. I mean, you need to go look up the Bible. Boom, there it is. You know, and I'm saying this as, okay, I'm when it comes to the existence of God, I am agnostic, because I believe it's really impossible to know for sure one way or the other. When it comes to religion, as in, you know, the practices we do, I'm an atheist, because I don't believe it's really possible for us to get everything right and truly understand the mind and being of a supreme deity, even if such a thing exists. It would be totally beyond our comprehension. That being said, watching this movie, I was offended on the behalf of my Christian friends who would find this just so totally bewildering. For someone to get up there and start misquoting scripture and mangling it and misrepresenting it would be criminal in their eyes. This is the case of someone who read the Bible a long time ago, has a general idea of some of the things that go on, misremembers some things, but he's got such pride and arrogance going on that he thinks he knows it inside and out. He thinks he's got it like the back of his hand. So he's up there spouting off stuff and doesn't bother to check. And that is arrogance. He's up there spouting stuff that is completely wrong and looks like an arrogant pig for doing so. Because as far as I'm concerned, Kirk Cameron is an arrogant pig. And this whole film is just like two people talking, and then, you know, Kirk's friends say, "Oh my God, you're so right. Oh my God, everything you say is right. You're just guiding me on the right path." I'm like, come on. It's awful. You know, and that comedy bit that's, you know, with the two black guys and they're holding their mugs in front of their mouths so they can overdub conversation later. it's like so unfunny. And that dance scene at the end that was just so awkward and painful. I think someone wrote that was like the whitest thing ever, which was kind of funny. There's a great review of this in Psychology Today, written by a guy who is wrote a book about the myths of Christmas, and that's worth looking up and reading. I did a mental palate cleanser by watching another documentary called What Would Jesus Buy in 2007 about a anti-consumerist protest group called Reverend Billy and the Church of Stop Shopping. It's great. I mean, because they really address the consumerism and materialism of the holiday, not only in the sense of a spiritual sense, but in the sense of economic justice with people who are driving themselves into bankruptcy. You know, a woman talks about how she's going to spend all next year paying off the bills that she's getting this Christmas. From an environmental standpoint, with the waste and the construction and all that impact that the big box stores have on local businesses and foreign sweatshops and things like that. So it's a magnificent movie. It's on YouTube. It's free. Watch it. And it's I would say it's 1 billion times wittier and smarter than Saving Christmas, but 1 billion times 0 is still 0. But in the end, I mean, it's just all this materialism and arrogance. I want to scream at people, go look at the website called buynothingchristmas.org. It's .org or .com, one of the two, and find all these ways that click with what would Jesus buy, in that the greatest gift we have is each other. And that's what I say to you, Black Doggers. The greatest gift we have is each other. This is my cornet being serious and sincere for a change. And for Mr. Cameron, I have some words from the Puritan writer William Prynne in his book History of Mastics. Quote, "Our Christmas lords of misrule, together with dancing, masks, mummeries, stage players, and such other Christmas disorders now in use with Christians, were derived from these Roman Saturnalia and Bacchanalian festivals, which should cause all pious Christians eternally to abominate them." Yeah, suck on that, Cameron. The Puritans hated Christmas and they hated actors, so fuck you. This is my cornet signing off. Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas, whatever it is, folks. Remember, the greatest gift is each other. Bye.
Wise words to end that with. Thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you for your feedback and continued support throughout the last X amount of... Oh, blimey, it's been ages, isn't it now?
Yeah.
I was going to say 300 episodes, but I don't know if he's been listening for 300 episodes, but thank you anyway, and thank you for that feedback. Yeah. There you go. I think that's about it, isn't it, really? Guys, everyone? Oh.
I think that is. That was a very good last closing feedback with some good recommendations for something more truly in the spirit of Christmas.
Yes. Yeah, that documentary he mentioned, I've seen the trailer for it. It does look quite cool, actually. And, the Psychology Today article is an absolute cracker. I did read that. I read that about an hour before.
There are some inaccuracies in there I spotted, though.
Yeah?
Belsnickel wasn't Dutch.
Nah, well... Right. Yeah, well, that's. I think getting someone's nationality wrong is not quite the same as working out like half the Bible is utterly wrong compared to what's in Kirk Cameron's head.
True.
I think there's degrees of wrong. But anyway,
once you start me fact checking, I'm relentless.
Oh, that's it. There you go. He's off. The fact checking wizard. Right. Well. There you go. Thank you so much, Michael. And if you want to hear more of Michael, or rather read more of Michael's writings and the artwork he finds and the dark fiction he sort of loves and all the books and everything that he reads, go over to his blog, which is Dust and Corruption, which you can find at dustandcorruption.blogspot.com. And you know what? Actually, follow him on Facebook. He's a really nice guy as well. So there you go. Always witty posts. Right. Okay, he's probably hating that now. He's like, "No, don't send a load of people over to me." But anyway, don't worry, dude. The nutty ones kind of drop off after a while. Anyway, right, so that's it. That's the episode 300 done. Everyone? Done.
Done.
Fantastic. Round of applause all. thank you to everyone who sent in feedback today and suffered through this appalling shambles shit show of a movie and a podcast. And yeah, it's just left to us to say, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But before we go, obviously, we're not the only ones celebrating a 300th episode, are we, Jim?
No, that's true. Early today, my own 300th episode went out.
Excellent.
Which is a very special ghost story for Christmas by me.
Ooh.
Tale of one of my own true life adventures.
Nice.
But it is spooky and hopefully very festive.
Nice. Excellent. Well, that's really cool. And we can find that where?
You can find that at Geek Planet Online on iTunes or at hypnobobs.geekplanetonline.
Brilliant. And what about you, Elton?
Oh, God. Where am I at the moment?
Okay, look, can I do this for you? Are you stuck?
No, I'm good. I have a episode coming out very soon, which was recorded last week, but I just haven't had time to put things together and post it. And it is about game shows. It's from the Shonky Lab stable. And hopefully that'll be going up tonight or tomorrow night, depending on when you're listening to this. But if in the future, it's already out.
Yeah, there you go.
Confused.
Brilliant.
You can find that at shonkylab.com. And can I personally say thank you to Lee and Darren for creating the Black Dog? Because I've always thoroughly enjoyed it, and to be part of it is just wonderful as well. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you to Jim also for being there and for doing the Hypnogoria, Hypnobobs stuff as well. So that's helped me through lots and lots of stuff. So thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, that's very kind of you, sir. And thank you, and thank you for Shonky Lab as well.
Let's all touch.
Yeah, when balls touch. Anyway, thank you very much for that, mate. That's really, really nice of you.
Yeah.
Well, that's lovely. Isn't that a lovely way to end the year?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
so let's end the show now and not ruin it quick.
Yeah, I was going to say. No, actually, well, that's the thing. We normally would tell you what we're going to have next year, or what we're going to have on the next episode, but what we normally have, for those of you who are new to this, first episode of the next year is basically us four looking back on the last year. Now, it changes format every bloody year, and normally what happens is we ask for feedback, and then what happens is we get so much feedback about everyone's top 10 films of the year that we end up with like 3 parts, all 3 hours long. So we won't be asking for feedback for the year review. It will just be me, Jim, and Elton. But then once that ends, at the end of that, we will tell you.
Am I not in it then?
Oh, you as well, yeah.
Is there another announcement you're about to make?
Yeah.
That I need to be present for?
And we would just like to say,
should I bother coming back?
Here is a gold clock to Darren.
Thank you very
a
much.
A hearty handshake and a sign off.
Finally put me out.
You're wondering where Darren's gone? He's gone to live on a farm, children.
Sorry, mate. Anyway, it will just be us, all 4 of us, doing the year review, and then the following year, the following episode will be the first of our now what seems to be almost regular Selfish Medcalf month, and Selfish Medcalf month will start on the second episode of the year, which will be Ex Machina. So there you go. So you can send in feedback for that. Send in feedback for that if you like, but we won't be taking any feedback for the end of the year review, which will be episode 301. So until then, I don't know what Tuesday we'll be back. We'll keep an eye on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/The Black Dog Podcast. Send in feedback for Ex Machina to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. And yeah, I won't ask you what you think of Ex Machina because I'll ask you at the end of the year-end review thing. So, right, until next time, have a great Christmas, great New Year, great holiday season, whatever you're celebrating, wherever you are. And we'll see you on the Facebook group. We'll see you on Twitter. We'll see you all over the place. But, just have a great Christmas and let's get the fucking thought of Kirk Cameron out of our minds. Go watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's a fantastic film. Or watch Die Hard. Die Hard. Everyone go and watch Die Hard.
Yeah, watch Die Hard.
Watch some paint drying.
Yeah.
Watch Dry Hard.
Yeah. Try and teach your goldfish to talk. Anything. Just do something else. And
Watch Threads.
No,
Because that's better than watching a Kirk Cameron
don't
production.
watch Threads.
No, don't watch Threads. So, until 2017, take care. Thanks very much again for listening. Thank you for all your kind words about about episode 300, including an email we did get a chance to read out, which was from Gareth the Proton Thomas, who basically sent us a nice feedback saying, congratulations. And to everyone on the feedback on the Facebook group, you've all been brilliant. And take care. See you soon. Tatty bye. Peace out. Fuck you, 2016. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Bollocks to it.